What's up, everybody? Round 3 against the Canes and those stupid Panthers who are stupid and dumb, and I hate them. It's okay. It's really not the Panthers' fault. It's more of a self-loathing thing. So Panthers fans, if you're here, don't worry. I'm not biased against you. I'm just biased against everybody that works for you. I'm kidding. Hi, everybody. Welcome to round 3. Very excited. It's Adam Wylde with you on the YouTube channel, SDPN YouTube channel, that is. Hayden is here. Robert is here. We're ready to take you through round 3. Now, Steve is going to handle Edmonton, Dallas. That'll be tomorrow night. And he and I are going to go dueling back and forth until the Stanley Cup Finals. We're almost there. The sun is still out. Let's go. Let's go. And by the way, to everybody else, thank you so much for joining. We're excited to get to know you. If you haven't been here before, if you have, welcome back. Let's have some fun and let's have a little chat here. Watch Medicine. Maple Leafs stench has made way for real hockey. There you go. Mr. HJ, hit that like button. Let's go. Get it over 100. Yeah, that's right. Mr. Haywood Jabloni. Vito says, Adam, are you and the podcast going to have CJ predict free agent signings? I don't know if I'm going to have him do that, but we are doing our end of the season show with him at some point. It's a tradition. It's a tradition. Canadian Girl 83, my good deed for the day, dropping $2 in there. Canadian Girl 83, we appreciate you. We love you. Thank you so much. Uh, what's that, Hayden? What's that, Hayden? Oh, she gifted 5 subs earlier. Well, thank you, Canadian Girl 83. We really appreciate you. So much going on, so much to talk about. We did have Leafs locker clean out today, but you know what? I'm not going to talk about that with you tonight because we'll talk about it on the show tomorrow. You know what I need? I need a break, not from hockey. I love hockey. I need a break from the Leafs, and they probably need a break from us too. Like I feel like that goes without saying, but I'm sure they're tired of us, and we're tired of being sad about them. Just another sad year. Now, every locker cleanout is sort of sad, but there are degrees of sad. There are degrees of, like, Winnipeg's locker clear out. I'm sure there was disappointment and there was emotion, but was there hey, you failed again for like the 10th year, man? What's up with that? No, I don't think there was. I don't think there was. So I'm happy to be here, ready to watch some hockey, ready not to worry about it. That's a podcast tomorrow thing. By the way, I believe that yesterday's podcast is almost, if not already, the second or third most watched ever. The other two would be the time the hockey guy was on, who was awesome, and the time the Leafs signed. Are you ready for this? John Tavares 7 years ago. I can't believe it's been 7 years, by the way. Like, that makes me feel old. Things have happened so quickly. James Stemler, Steve Valiquette provided a stat for the Leafs and Panthers. Individual player turnovers to really high danger scoring chances off the rush. Riley blew everyone else out of the water with 21. Yeah, well, we're going to have the Morgan Riley discussion at some point. But again, it ain't tonight. Let's talk about the Canes. Let's talk about that kid in the front row who's wearing that fake beard. I really respect that. Diane Sears, I won't be able to hang out tonight, but I had to say, and I had to come in and say, go Canes. Diane, thank you so much for joining us. Francois LaBelle. Hey, Adam, your gripper flash was funny. Thank you, Francois. Don't encourage the people. The people keep asking for the grippers. We can't keep giving them what they want. By the way, I just love the fact that the Carolina Hurricanes always come out to one of my favorite songs, Rock You Like a Hurricane by the Scorpions. I think it's so perfect. And it's just such a sick, like, guitars are squealing and their fans are up and they're rowdy and they know they're about to watch the most boring hockey game that any of us have ever seen. But it sure gives the Canes a good chance to win it by playing that way. Thomas Whitlock, chances that Marner goes to Carolina. They're projected to have $30 million in cap space. Top dollar should be a contender. Yeah, I would say a contender for sure. But I think there are some other places too. I think there's some other tax-free places. Ooh, now you're interested. Watch Medicine. Since 2010, a Florida-California team has made the Final Four every year. Wow. I'd have to double-check that, but if that's true, that's kind of nuts. See, it kind of puts to rest the whole, well, that's not a traditional hockey market when people are talking about Atlanta. which I'm convinced is going to work. Atlanta's going to work. James Stemler, don't worry. No more Leafs. Just needed to get that off my chest. Tonight, go Canes. Let's have a stress-free night. Now, guys, who are we cheering for? Are we cheering for the Canes or are we cheering for the Panthers? And by we, I mean you. I'd love to know what you're feeling. What do you want? Uh, Hayden says Taylor Hall and Brent Burns. Why Taylor Hall? Oh, seeing him lift a cup would be nice. So yeah, because Brent Burns obviously was a Minnesota Wild, so I get that. Sedin Magic 15. People forget that. Hey, Adam. All right. Fingers crossed the Canes don't turn this stream into nap time with Adam Wylde. Yeah, you know what? What's interesting about this series is it's still truly very hard to know where the Canes are. Like, I feel like I got a good sense of the Oilers. I feel like I got a good sense of Dallas. I definitely have a very good sense of the Florida Panthers. The Canes played the Devils with, the Devils had like an arm tied behind their back, right? Devils and Canes fans. This is not like me. This is not me hating on you. You got lucky and played a team without Jack Hughes in it. I'll take that. Hey, man, you know what would have been cool? Florida without Brad Marchand or Bobrovsky would have absolutely taken that. But it's not the way it worked out. Then in the second round, you play the Washington Capitals, and they were great in the regular season, and they were pretty good versus Montreal too. Wiped them up in about 5 games. But it's a first seed versus a last seed situation. What does that series really tell you? And then you play the Capitals, and the Capitals don't really hit like the Florida Panthers do. And you saw it. The Panthers conceded games 1 and 2 to the Leafs. The Leafs, it's hard to believe, at one point a couple weeks ago, we're up 2-0 in that series. But the Florida Panthers just bean you. I mean, Anthony Stoller said it today. It was Sam Bennett, elbow to the head. And he was like, yeah, it's an unfortunate play. And he was probably just trying to do his thing. He wasn't. He was being Sam Bennett. Freddie better watch his ass. But I'm curious about how the Carolina Hurricanes respond to the kind of physicality the Florida Panthers like to play. And if they want to get out of this series and want to go back to the Stanley Cup final, do the Carolina Hurricanes try to get it wrapped up early? Panthers are very injured. The guy that sort of ran their show in 2023, because this is a matchup of just 2 years ago, Matthew Tkachuk wasn't really a factor in the Leaf series. Didn't really play much of a role other than being a motor mouth afterwards. And it's so funny. People like the Paul Maurice stuff, the Brad Marchand stuff, the Matthew Tkachuk stuff, all that they're saying about Toronto. Man, those guys are twisting the knife because they enjoy it. Paul Maurice got fired by the Leafs organization, was not really well liked within the Leafs organization while he was here. Brad Marchand has owned the Leafs his entire career. Matthew Tkachuk loves chaos. You could see the reasons why. Anthony says, I got straight overlooked by Adam. Damn, LOL. Anthony, I don't know what one I missed you, but Hayden, if you can send me his super chat, that'd be great. A lot of Canes fans in the chat tonight. Francois Lebel, only Leafs-related comment. I don't see a cup contender looking at Marner and saying that's what we need to get over the hump. Now Detroit only need to get into the playoffs. Yeah. Again, I would go to tax-free states. Here we go. And we got a face-off and we're off. And I'm sorry that I didn't give a clap right off the top. Sportsnet didn't really give me an opportunity to do that. Would have been helpful if the ref fake dropped the puck, but look at that. We got a whistle 9 seconds in. The third round has begun. Hayden, apparently I overlooked Windwalker 57 as well. I'm going to do my best to get all the super chats, guys, but sometimes I miss them. Here we go. Boom. Barkov wins the draw. All right, now let's go through the lines here because I think this is important. Rodriguez, Barkov, Reinhart. This line is back together. 2 Selke nominees on the same line going up against the team that should win the Selke as a team, Carolina. For Hagee, Bennett, Tkachuk, I'm not going to lie to you. I think Carolina will be able to handle those guys. I don't know what they're going to do about Barkov. I definitely wonder about Luostarinen, Lundell, and Marchand. Lundell apparently has got a slight injury. We'll see how effective he is. And Lundell is out there right now. That was the best line for Florida in the Leaf series. We'll see if that continues. And then AJ Greer, Thomas Nosek, and Jonah Gadjevich. And you know what? Those guys in this. Oh, big hit on Aaron Ekblad. Trust me when I say, oh, that was Kulikov. Trust me when I say, keep up the hits, Carolina. You're going to want to wear these guys down. They're already playing injured. You got to lean on that. You got to play your advantage. Gustav Forsling, Aaron Ekblad, Mikola Seth Jones, Nate Schmidt, Dmitry Kulikov. That third pair for the Panthers, also a bit of I want to call it a weakness. But if Carolina is going to take advantage and they're going to be patient, wait for their shots, and wait for people to make mistakes, it's probably the pair you want to do it against. 18:25 left in the first period. Hayden just sent me Anthony Ruggiero. A team with 1 week off versus a team with 1 day off in game one is always madness. It's true. I kind of wonder, this was always the thing. When I was growing up, if a team wrapped up a series early, they usually lost the first game because the other team has been playing longer. However, I felt like they always usually won the series because ultimately their health was better. Windwalker 57, Caps fan and a Dangle fan. Can Carolina and Florida both lose? Amen to that. No, I don't want to be that negative. Listen, as much as I'm upset that they beat our teams, I just want to say that I feel like you got to hand it to them. Oh, here comes Aho. Oh, and that puck is broken up by Mikola. Nice little play there, though. Nice little play. Francois Labelle, go SDPN, go Canes, go. Thanks, buddy. Oh, boy, we got a lot of super chats here. I'll get to them at the whistle, and there's one right now. Matthew Calmer just saying hi from Cincinnati. Hope everyone has a great night watching the game. Matthew, go Cyclones. Member of the Leafs organization, the Cincinnati Cyclones. Jack Street says, Flyers fan here, go Rob the Bod. That's right. People forget about the Legion of Doom years and the fact that the guy underneath, some guy named Rod Brindamore. I had to yawn. I had to get that out. But don't worry, kids. It's not going to happen all night. Sedin Magic 15, worth noting, the last game won between these two teams went to 5 overtimes. Well, I'm glad I yawned now. 5 overtimes. That's right. My God. Can you imagine if that's our night tonight? Let's do 9 periods of hockey. Forget 5 OTs. Let's go 6. Let's tempt fate. Bring it on. I love that they are booing Gustav Forsling. You guys all know how Gustav Forsling became a Cane, right? They waived him, and then he went to Florida, and he was excellent. You can't boo him for your own organization's failure. But you know what? Actually, you can. They just did. Wow. They're just showing some highlight reels of Svechnikov here. 3 game-winning goals in the previous 2 series. Listen, the Canes might be boring, but that is their superpower. And I think you got to run with that. You got to play that game. There seems to be some good hitting in this opening. One big hit on Kulikov. But nothing crazy. Stankoven brings the puck in. Oh, Taylor Hall gets upended by Brad Marchand. Those 2 guys, probably the 2 oldest guys in this series. Don't break those bones. Well, actually, no. Brent Burns has got to be the oldest guy in this series. Yeah, he might be the oldest guy in these current playoffs, still here. Good for him. What a career, man. And he got out of San Jose just in time. Just in time to make the playoffs a bunch of times in Carolina. That's pretty good. Ryan Suter's playing for Dallas? Oh. Is he actually playing games, though? Yeah, he's 40, right? Yeah, he's on the Blues. Yeah, that's what I was like, that really? Am I crazy? Okay. Burns is the oldest guy left. Oh, my gosh. But we do have some oldies. 676 people in here. Only, at least to my count, 65 likes. Guys, can we do a little better than that? That's 10% right now. That's not great. Oh, no, 153. All right. Still, we could probably do some better than that. 15-42. Here comes Mikola. Puck into Rodriguez, the big faker. Listen, Kane, if Cats fans, you got to let me get my shots in there. Orlov. And that's icing. Woohoo! Sedin Magic 15. I have to correct myself. It went to 4 OTs, not 5. My bad. Sorry about that. It's okay. Maybe today it's 5 or 6 OTs. Let's get crazy. Let's have a sleepless night. The decider, nearly 5 minutes in and 0 shots on goal. There have been opportunities, but Mikola especially broke up a really good one with Sebastian Aho. Sebastian Aho, by the way, taking the face-off right now against the Sam Bennett line, who I have to tell you, other than Sam Bennett beating Anthony Stolarz, largely ineffective against the Leafs. They had their moments, but of the top 3 lines, they were the third most effective. Drowsy Dan, prediction for first goal scorer for either team. Good question. I'm going to go with, you know what? Aho already looked good. I'm going to go Sebastian Aho. For the Panthers, I'm going to go Barkov. Let's see Barkov do it. Okay, not right now. I'll get back to it. All right, here we go. 15-12 left in the first. By the way, that was our first official shot on goal, and it was just under 5 minutes. How about that? Burns, Slavin. Ekblad turns the puck around. Verhaeghe gets crushed. Svechnikov throwing the body there. Listen, I'm not saying he can't hit, but that's not the name you expect when someone throws a big hit. Slavin gets the puck stripped by Bennett. Svechnikov goes after Bennett, and the puck is whistled dead. I think there's a penalty here, and I can't tell if it's the Canes or the Panthers, and I think it might be the Canes or Panthers. Well, the Canes fans like it, so I'm going to assume it's a Panther. Is it Bennett? Oh, it's a nice little random hooking call, and Slavin could have easily got one back there. Hayden's like, they can call penalties on Bennett. Yes, they can. It can happen. It can happen. 14-46, here we go. First power play of the series. 1 shot so far in this game. What a surprise. Aho wins the face-off draw. Jarvis at the point. First look at this Carolina Hurricanes power play against a very aggressive, nice shot by Aho, very aggressive Florida Panthers penalty kill. That's the one thing, if you're a Canes fan and you're watching the Panthers for the first time these playoffs, get ready. Their penalty kill is extremely aggressive, as is their forecheck generally in 5-on-5. So there's no time to set up and make plays. You got to go. Blake, back to Jarvis. Jarvis to Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere at the point. Jarvis open, shoots. Oh, what a save by Bobrovsky. Great setup there. Canes get 2 great shots. Aho and Jones are going at it, and then there was somebody else, and the camera's not shooting it because there's somebody in the corner going at it. I don't know why they're not shooting it, but they're not. All right. Corrado Di Stefano. What are some players remaining in the playoffs you want to see win their first cup? Well, Hayden already said Taylor Hall. That'd be nice. Okay, yeah. So there's Reinhart going after Jackson Blake. Brent Burns would be cool. Like he had so many great runs with those San Jose teams, and they just never got it done. I'm gonna go Brent Burns. Adam Henrique's an interesting one. Hayden brings up in the Dallas. In the Dallas Edmonton series, I think. I mean, Connor and Leon, right? They've never won. That'd be cool. I think it would be great for the greatest player alive today and the second greatest player alive today to win a cup. Last year the Panthers had Kyle Okposo, and that was such a great story. And there was so much else going on that you almost it was underrated. You just didn't think about it too much. But seeing him win a cup after all those bad years in Buffalo, nice play here. Man, this Canes power play looks really good. They are fast. They turn the puck around quickly. Gostisbehere back across the blue line after the Panthers clear it. Down low to Aho. He misses it. Jackson Blake in deep. Another big hit by Svechnikov. Aho gets the puck again. Look at him shift. Man, he's quick. 30 seconds to go. Hey, remember how we said the Carolina Hurricanes play boring hockey? Oh, what a hit by Jarvis. Ekblad gets crushed. Jones gives him the cross check. Over. Hall. The puck is loose. Oh, this is going to be a mean series. Oh, no. Is the ref actually calling this? Is the ref actually calling Aho on this? That's insane. That's insane. I see why he's mad. That's a bad call. That's a bad call. Look at this. Watch this. So first off, Canes are having a great power play. There's Jarvis in front, and he just sort of misses Gostisbehere coming in. And then Hall over to Aho, shot, and then Aho gets banged in the back of the head, bang, by Lindell. And then he pushes back, and then they're going to give Aho a penalty for the left arm hook there. That is a roughing call, and it's a rough call. And look at Lindell. He's got that little bit of blood there. They're going to have to clean that up. Not allowed to play with open cuts. Hey, remember I told you Carolina Hurricanes play boring hockey? Not tonight. Wes Richard, Adam, the Leafs made me feel sad, and only the sweet embrace of your grippers can cheer me up. Wes, so glad you're here, but you know the rule for grippers. It's 1,000 likes, my friend. 1,000 likes. Wes Richard dropping 5 SDPN memberships. Hot Lettuce. That is a name. Gripper Nation, rise up. Woo! All right, we got 4-on-4 hockey, and then we're getting our Panthers first of the series. And by the way, Rod Brind'Amour is losing his mind on the referees right now. You know what? I have to look at who's reffing tonight. I forgot to do that. That feels like the ultimate. We're gonna even up the call. It's Kelly Sutherland. Kelly Sutherland and Eric Furlat. Good luck, Carolina. Good luck. And good for Rod getting in there. What a stupid call. It's pretty clear that the Carolina Hurricanes came out to play physically tonight. They're going to match the Florida Panthers in intensity. It's interesting. After the series in 2023, Rod Brind'Amour said, man, it didn't feel like a sweep because they were swept. They didn't win a game. And he probably got them like fired up in a way that we haven't been since Christmas morning when we were in like grade 3. You know what I mean? When you're like peak Christmas. Rod probably got these guys you're not going to let them come in here and do that. Not in front of our fans. Like I'd be like, because apparently the fans just love this, the players love this guy. I'm telling you, they are playing like it. They're playing fired up. Now, we are going to see a Panthers power play, which looks pretty good. Leafs penalty kill seemed to have a good handle on them towards the end of the series. I'm curious to see how the NHL's best defensive team in the Carolina Hurricanes handles this. David C., I'm blind. I'm deaf. I want to be a ref. It's true, man. Sports Talk Chud, is Bobrovsky a Hall of Famer or does he need another cup? Hall of Famer right now. If he gets another cup, then he's first ballot. He's 10th all-time in win, but 24th all-time in games played, according to Hayden. Up in 2 vests. Yeah, he is. Is he first ballot, though? I don't know. I don't think he's first. If he wins the second cup this year or next year, then I think he's a first ballot guy. But 2 Vezinas, already 10th in NHL history in wins. It's about as close to Hall of Fame as you can get. Yeah, he's pissed. Look at Rod Brind'Amour. So we're back from commercial. Look at the eyes. Look at the crazy eyes he's got. Not going to take that shit from you, Kelly Sutherland. And by the way, if there's any Canucks fans in the chat, you love seeing somebody yell at Kelly Sutherland. The Canucks have not won a Kelly Sutherland reffed playoff game ever, and that's dating back to the early 2000s. I think they're 0-11 or 0-12 in the playoffs with Kelly Sutherland reffing. Whenever Kelly Sutherland reffed last year and I was doing a Vancouver game, Canucks fans were like, this is an instant loss. Great. And I was like, come on. And they're like, no, you'll watch, you see. And they were right. Icing call. 5 seconds left on 4-on-4. It's going to be an offensive zone faceoff for the Florida Panthers. And the Carolina Hurricanes are going to have to do something about getting this puck out before Florida can get set up with that 5th man. They win the faceoff draw. That's exactly what you need to do. Slavin's got it. He dumps the puck down. Obviously, icing waved off. And Bobrovsky under pressure. Seth Jones sort of peels off in a bizarre way. And so you're going to start the power play on the defensive zone. Martinook with a great rundown. Now, I haven't had the chance to go through the Canes lineup. Svechnikov, Aho, Jarvis, Hall, Roslovich, Stankoven, Martinook, Stahl, Carrier, Eric Robinson, Kotkaniemi, and Jackson Blake. But obviously, it's interesting with those lines 1 through 4. Some of those guys on the fourth line, like Jackson Blake, they're used on the power play. Carolina Hurricanes remain one of the more fascinating teams in the NHL that really doesn't get the credit they deserve in terms of what they've built, the system they have, the amount of like consecutive second rounds at least that they've been to. It's a pretty incredible run of success. And yet every time Rod Brendamore's contract comes up, the owner goes, yeah, I don't want to give you a raise. Buddy, if Rod Brandamore ever became available, do you know how many NHL franchises would fire their coach into the sun for a chance to eat at the same table as that guy? All right, here comes Seth Jones. 90 seconds remain on the Florida power play. They have not obviously got set up. It was 4-on-4 to start. Martinook. Oh, great pass. Well, not great pass. Great clear with the backhand. No Florida defenseman there in sight. Oh, it's a giveaway. And it is flipped out again. Barkov had a quick shot at it. 1 minute to go in this Florida Panthers power play. 12 minutes in the first period. Seth Jones wheels around. Eric Robinson out there challenging him. Orlov against Tkachuk. Now you'll see Tkachuk is going to have trouble skating. The best work he does is where he is right there, behind the net, making great plays. He can't move, but he's still got the hands. Barkov into the center ice area, and they score! How did that puck go in? Carter Verhaeghe with a sneaky little backhand, and Freddie Anderson, I just don't think is enough on his post. That is a bit of a dagger considering how great Carolina started this game. And this is what makes Florida so frustrating to play against. You play the best hockey that you can possibly play, and they still score on you because they are ruthlessly efficient. Look at this shot. Nice. Oh, that is a top cheddar, disgusting, insane shot that a goal scorer like Carter Verhaeghe, who has not had a lot of luck scoring goals this year, scores. Wow, baby. That was great. That was great. Drowsy Dan, thought experiment. Bob and Freddie go down in game 1. Who has the advantage in the battle of the backups? Does that sway the series for you? If Vitek Vanacek, I would give the advantage to Carolina because I don't think Vitek Vanacek holds a candle to Pyotr Kochekov. I think Kochekov's a good goalie. Hayden says if Spencer Knight's still there, he's taking Florida. But he's not! He's going to go win some cups in Chicago with Mitch Marner. I'm kidding. I don't actually know that. I don't want you to think that I know that. I don't know that. Puck to the point. Oh, Greer almost got the puck out there to Gadjevich. Kotkaniemi, I think, taking his first shift of the game, or if not, one of his first. Double power plays have kind of prevented the fourth lines from being out there, which is why they're out there together right now. Greer, Gadjevich, they were so effective against the Leafs when they got into the series. Didn't play the first 2 games. Got in. They look really good. I hate to admit, they look really good. Canadian Girl 83. So Kelly Sutherland to the Canucks is what Wes McCauley is to the Leafs. Yes, but worse. Way worse. 10-16 left in the first period. Florida Panthers up 1-0 on a great shot by Carter Verhaeghe. A penalty that, honestly, Rod Brind'Amour lost his mind over. But Carolina's looked really good to start. Jackson Blake fumbles the puck there, but that could have been a break for the Hurricanes. Got to give Jackson Blake a lot of credit here. He is really fitting in well with this lineup. And, for a young guy to come in and be in Rod Brind'Amour's system, you have to be mature. You have to be hardworking. And defense, as you guys know, as our hockey coaches would have taught us, defense takes effort and work and commitment. And to come into Rod's system, like Rod's not going to be great if you come into the system and you try to suck for goals and then don't get back. Jackson Blake is playing power play 1 minutes and playing some good defense too. So Hurricanes and Panthers have met in the playoffs just the one time. We've talked about this. Panthers swept the Hurricanes in the Eastern Conference Final in 2023. Barkov and Tkachuk had 5 points each in those 4 games. In the 2023 Conference Finals, Carolina was outscored only 10-6. And that's why Rod Brind'Amour got on the mic afterwards and was like, it doesn't feel like a sweep, though. No Hurricanes player had more than a goal in that series. No Hurricanes player had more than 2 points in that series. And as a Leaf fan, let me tell you, the people that score for you need to score. Otherwise, you don't win. It's a hilarious conversation happening in Toronto right now. They're like, yeah, but the depth got caved in, man. Yo, it's the depth's job to be the depth. You got to have the scorers score. Aho, Svechnikov. I would even put Jackson Blake in there. We were just talking about him. I need a couple from Taylor Hall. I need Logan Stankoven to step up. Seth Jarvis. You got guys. Watch Medicine says a fully healthy Panthers team would kill the Canes, but they're not fully healthy, are they? Since the 2023 Eastern Conference Final, their shared record against each other, this is the Canes and the Panthers, is 3-3-0. Florida outscored Carolina 18-13 in the games where they played each other. These are all regular season games. 3 of those games involved a shutout. Kochetkov got one February 2024. Freddie got one March 2024. Spencer Knight, no longer there, got one in November of this season. Bobrovsky versus Anderson this postseason. Anderson's got a 937 saves percentage. Bobrovsky 901. I just want to let you know, Anderson only let in, are you ready for this? 6 total goals against the Washington Capitals. Just 6 in 5 games. 95 shots against. That's pretty unbelievable. And by the way, 95 shots against over. Oh, nice shot by Burns. 95 shots against over 5 games. That's roughly 21 shots a game, 21 and a half. Dude, that's a pretty low shot counter, and that is any NHL goalie should be able to manage that, and that is why the Canes are so effective. And they are playing great hockey right now. Slavin keeps the puck in, gives it right over to the Panthers, though. Barkov headmans the puck to Reinhart. Rodriguez all over it. Stahl, Martinuk, I think they're trying to change here. Not an ideal matchup. Tkachuk, again, not moving well, but able to be very effective in corner battles, digging against the boards. Watch for him on that. Aho gets a little hit from Seth Jones, and the puck bounces off the two of them and goes out of the net, or gets out of the arena. Marvin, let's go Panthers. As much as you hate us, Adam, you can't deny our greatness. Still love you, though. Marvin, I don't hate you. I hate how the series went. As I said, it's more self-loathing than anything. It's not really the Panthers that I hate. And I don't really hate my own team, but I'm really disappointed. You know? That's all I'm going to say. Kotkaniemi, Blake, Robinson out there. So it's 4th line against Lindell, Marchand, and Luostarinen. I'm curious about this matchup. Rod Brind'Amour must know and must have watched all the games and know how effective this line is. So I wonder if he's tasking Kotkaniemi with trying to manage them. I don't know if you can contain them. Look at Brad Marchand playing some of the best hockey in his career in the last 2 to 3 weeks. Someone is going to pay him way too much money this summer, and everybody's going to go, whoa, that's way too much money for a guy that age. And that team's going to go to the playoffs, and he's going to be worth every damn dollar. Who cares at this point in his career what Brad Marchand does in the regular season? You have him for games like this. Sports Talk Chud, how long until Bennett concusses Freddie? Well, he might get a talking to by head office. So anytime, actually. Crispin Welburn. Adam, I hate asking this as a Canucks fan, but would you like Besser in Toronto? He's got clutch genes. I would tell you that I don't know what Toronto's going to look like. It looks like just about everything is on the table, including potentially, according to a Luke Fox report this afternoon, blowing out the entire front office, not just Shanahan. And I think that's a little much, but we'll see. There's apparently a Board of Governors meeting. Here we go. What a move by Gostisbehere. In! Oh, almost had that into Stankoven. Back out to the point. Shot. Oh, it misses the net. Great play by the Carolina Hurricanes there. All right, here comes Seth Jones. He's a guy you need to watch for. Played a great series against Toronto, especially that game 7. Boy, he was awesome. Frustratingly awesome. Rodriguez out front. Scores! Aaron Ekblad scores. Whoa. Wow. Wow. I can't. Gostisbehere just broke Gadjevic's legs there, his ankles. Oh, so Carolina in both cases, guys, could have scored on the power play and on that Gostisbehere play, and Florida immediately comes back and scores it. I'm not going to listen. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy for a second. Is Freddie Anderson having one of those Freddie Anderson games? And in Leaf fans, you know what I'm talking about. There are days where Freddie Anderson is the greatest player on earth, and there are days where he is, especially in the playoffs, I'm going to allow 6 tonight, and you're just going to have to accept that. Whatever it is, he's going to need to be better because he should have stopped that puck. Should have stopped that puck. Cam says sweep incoming again. I don't know, Cam. It's a little early to be calling that, but shot. Bobrovsky with a save. I think oh boy. Oh boy. Wow. Freddie Anderson. Wow. I listen, the first goal, Carter Verhaeghe, beautiful shot. Not much Freddie can do about that unless he's standing on his feet. That goal, that Ekblad goal should not have gone in. And I know it's not cool to blame the goalie. I don't care. Tommy says Ander 7 incoming. Yeah, man. Remember that? Ugh. Ugh. Listen, it wasn't entirely his fault. The Leafs defense, go look up the Leafs defense when Freddie Anderson was their goalie. It's amazing they ever got to the playoffs. Oh, Panthers fall. Oh, and the Carolina Hurricanes do not make the most of that opportunity. Roslovic was open. He's got number 96 back. For anybody wondering, he was given a Rolex by Mikko Rantanen when he came to town to get number 96. Mikko Rantanen played 15 games and then was gone. So Roslovic gets the Rolex and his number back. I think it's a win-win. Hayden wonders if anybody bought a Roslovic number with Roslovic jersey with a different number. That is a damn good question. Looks like Aaron Ekblad's a little hurt on the bench there, trying to stretch something out. Man, you'd think a guy who's missed 20 games and then another game in the playoffs wouldn't be that unhealthy, but playoffs take their toll. 6:19 left in the first period. Panthers being ruthlessly efficient again. 4 shots, 2 goals. Damn, dude. What are you going to do about that? Watch medicine. Let's see if the Panthers can score 6 tonight. Yeah, well, let's see if the Carolina Hurricanes can get back in this because now they're going to have to cheat a little offense, which is not their game. That's not how they do this. They kind of let you come to them a little bit, and they play defense and they wait for you to screw it up. But a couple of small miscues, and the Panthers have been all over them. I have to be honest, the score doesn't. Oh, Rodriguez should be going to the box for that. And he is not. And Canes fans are letting Sutherland and Furlat have it, and I don't blame them. Listen, if you're a Panthers fan and they miss a call, I will be just as hard on them. I promise you. Not a fan of these guys. It's always funny, eh? The refs that go the furthest, I'm like, nah, you're the ones I like the least. Give me the new guys. 5:16 left in the first period. It's been a fun one. Oh, a nice play. Carrier tried to get it on the puck or tried to get it on the net. Marchand had a bit of a tip there, but Bobrovsky had perfect positioning on it. He's looked dialed tonight, and he has been tested. The Canes are looking fast. They're looking rested, and perhaps the goaltender's looking a little rusty. Big hit. Sam Bennett on Orlov, and that looks like it hurt. Here we go. We got a breakaway. Oh, Stop by Bobrovsky. Wow. There has been some excitement in this first. Please don't stop. Here we go. Shot. Jarvis. Stop by Bobrovsky. 4:33 left in the first period. Woo! Wow. Canes fans are on their feet. They like what they're seeing. Just keep generating chances. Just keep generating chances. Florida Panthers are on their heels at the moment, but they're still up 2-0, and they're the Panthers, so I'm sure they're feeling pretty good about it. Jarvis behind the net. Marchand around. Gostisbehere at the point. Gostisbehere, nice move. Didn't quite break any ankles on Luster-Ryan in there, but you know he can. What a career revival Gostisbehere has had in Carolina. This is a guy who was on the scrap heap in Arizona and Detroit and all the other places he played, wherever the heck else he was. And he has really found a great spot here in Carolina. You know why? His coach here is the best coach he's ever had. Found a spot for him. Orlov with the shot in. Bobrovsky is going to cover. 3:40 left in the first period. And damn, baby. Damn, baby. Woo. So according to Robert in the SDPN chat, as a note, people did get Roslovic jerseys. You had 2 weeks. If it was a Rantanen jersey, they made it Roslovic. If it was 98, they made it 96. So if you bought it, you could have it changed. That's cool. I like that they do that. Would you leave it, Hayden? Yeah, it's like having a Michael Jordan 45 jersey, right? I had a Michael Jordan 45 jersey growing up. My first sports jersey, I think it was like I had 2 football jerseys and I had a Michael Jordan jersey. So I had a Steve Young San Francisco 49ers jersey. I had a Troy Aikman Cowboys jersey, and I had a Michael Jordan 45 jersey. And I remember I wore it to Disneyland, and some kids were like, "Hey, that's really cool that you have one of those." I still have it. It's downstairs at SDPN. I store it here. Hayden has a Maverick Steve Nash jersey. All right. Let's get into this. Let me ask you guys, what's your most rare jersey? I have a Cassie Campbell Team Canada jersey. I have a Theo Fleury Team Canada jersey. I was a big fan of Theo Fleury. I loved that man. It's so sad what's happened there. Joe Pipple, Fletcher, worst GM in both Flyers and Wylde history. Daddy's boy was a disaster. Yeah. Cliff, well, Hayden's probably got some stuff to say about Cliff Fletcher. Not Cliff. Chuck. All right. Time check, everybody. I know you're asking for it in the chat. Let's give it to you. As soon as Sportsnet puts it up, I will give it to you. And we're going to do a little clap for the face-off. All right. They still have not shown the time. Here's the face-off, though. So just get on with this. They might not show the time. 3:40 in the first. Here we go. Face-off. The ref didn't even fake drop the puck. Thank God. Great pace to this game. If you're just tuning in, this is a great game. This is an excellent hockey game. I think this is my favorite first period of the entire run of playoffs that I've done so far. Seth Jones hit behind the net by Stankoven. They have been clearly told, hammer, as Paul Maurice likes to say, hammer that D. Carolina Hurricanes not messing around with that. They didn't have to hit the hell out of the Washington Capitals. They do have to hit the hell out of the Florida Panthers, who have come into this series a little bit beaten up. Net front presence. Adam, I thought the Canes were, quote, boring. They are, but not tonight. If anybody wants to sit here and honestly tell me that Washington-Carolina series was exciting, feel free, but I know you're lying. Or you're a fan of Carolina, in which case you're not lying. You probably enjoyed every second of that. 3:09 left in the first period. Here we go. Face off. Aho wins it. Puck dropped down. Orlov kind of throws it out. Svechnikov tried to get it out of the air with his stick. That didn't work. Not really sure what Orlov was doing there. I guess he was trying to do a spring thing. By the way, you're going to see a lot of guys. They're going to have to take hits to make plays. Take hits to make plays. Orlov signals to his defenseman. Bennett along the boards. Orlov signaled to take Bennett, because I'm sure nobody really wants to take Sam Bennett. And this is the line I think Carolina should be able to dominate. Bennett absolutely hooks the hell out of Svechnikov. Of course, Furlat and Sutherland are not going to call that. They had a tight whistle all the way through the second round in all of the playoff series. It seems like in the third round, they're going to start letting stuff go. Kotkaniemi to nobody at the point, and that is offside. All right. So, okay, here we go. Burns, Svechnikov, Jackson Blake at the point. Shot by the Florida Panthers. It goes wide. Jackson Blake gets the puck up. He takes the hit. Is not able to make the play because of the hit. Slavin. Puck over to Kotkaniemi. Kotkaniemi gets leveled by Luostarinen. Blake. You'll have to forgive me on the Carolina Hurricanes. I tried as best I could to learn all the numbers I could beforehand, but there are certain numbers where you go, wait, is that again? I like Eric Robinson's number. I'm like 50-50. Oh, yes, Eric Robinson. Hello. It takes a couple periods to kind of figure it out. Carrier brings it in, hits Martinook. That's not great because he's on the same team. Carrier, body. Here comes Mikkola. Rodriguez tipped it in. Seth Jones. Over to Nico Mikkola. Back to Seth Jones. Stahl giving chase. Not heavy chase, but just a little bit of chase. Carey says, I have a Phoenix Coyote Keith Tkachuk Kachina jersey. That's cool. Those are great jerseys. Merlin says Panthers are winning another cup, aren't they? I don't know. I think Carolina's had a lot of great opportunities in this first period. KK won't survive this series. Kotkaniemi? You mean Kotkaniemi, right? Yeah, I don't know that this is going to be his favorite series. I think he would probably prefer to play the Edmonton Oilers. And the best way to do that is to win the series. Perhaps the Dallas Stars, too. This will be, here we go, Svechnikov to Jarvis. To Aho, they score! Was it Jarvis or did Aho tip that in? Aho, who took the penalty earlier, he was incensed. The Panthers scored on it. The Panthers are going to look and see if the goaltender was interfered with. But Aho is so intense, man. He's got the Rod Brind'Amour crazy eyes. Killer instinct. First line on the board. I think they're going to say kicking motion, maybe. Here we go. So what happens here? Carolina in, shot, Aho. Oh, that's an interesting one. Does Aho kick the puck in or does he redirect it? To me, I got to be honest, it looks like a redirection to me. His skate does not leave the ice. If they challenge for this, I'd be shocked. That looks like a goal. I feel like that should be a goal. Every day, all the time, that should be a goal. Refs are going to look at it. Because skate is on the ice. Skate remains on the ice. I don't see kicking motion. I think that's a goal. Noah Sully. Hey, I have a Ben Scrivens jersey from when he was with Edmonton. My parents and Ben went to high school together and would hang out when he was an Oiler. Oh, that's so cool. Ben Scrivens was the first NHL player to ever be on the Steve Dangle podcast, and he's a really nice guy. Was still driving the same truck that he always drove. Really liked Ben Scrivens. I wonder what he's up to. Refs say it's a goal, I think. Goal will count unless Panthers want to challenge. Is he challenging? I'm trying to read lips here. Paul Maurice talking to the ref again. Watch. Yeah, Maurice is he's going to accept his fate. Aho with a great goal. Listen to the Carolina faithful. The Storm Surge. 15.7 on the clock. They changed it. And Carolina getting a goal in that last minute is huge. That's a huge victory for them. 2 goals that, honestly, the first one was unstoppable. The second one should have been stopped. And so you're back on the board. Period ends. You score with 15.7 seconds to go. That is how you get back in a hockey game. Efficiency on both ends. What a great, exciting first period. What a nice surprise. What a nice surprise. 5 SDPN memberships dropped by Canadian Girl 83. And hey, if somebody gives you a VIP membership, probably a good time to tell you what you're getting. You're getting an extra episode of the Steve Dangle podcast each week, which we do a lot of pop culture related things on that. And that's the most fun thing. It's the greatest thing. It's the thing I love the most. And also, we take a bunch of listener emails. We have a specific email account just for VIPs. And if Canadian Girl 83 or West Richard or anybody else who come in here and they drop SDPN memberships, give them a thank you. And then consider re-upping your subscription when that free 30 days is up. Help support a small business like ours, which you're doing tonight by being here. And also, if I can ask you one thing, and this one's free, just click like on the video. Almost 1,200 people in here liking this. Liking this, watching this. We don't have 1,200 likes. Not yet, though. This is going to be a good series, kids. It's going to be a fun series. Mr. HJ, hey, would you blow me? 2 SDPN memberships. Make sure to drop a thank you in the chat for him. Kenneth Briggs and Tuomas Vehalainen. That's a very Finnish name. And Vehalainen, I hope I got that right. Anyway, enjoy. Ishan, Adam, let's see those little piggies. Listen, you got to get to 1,000 likes for that. We don't just show the piggies off for nothing. Man, great series. Apparently, I missed another super chat here. Supernova Maine. If the Panthers just kill the Canes, does the Leafs front office use that as an excuse? You know, you'll be happy to know if you're a Leaf fan that the Leafs, whatever happens in this series, will have no bearing on what the Leafs do. From what I understand, so last year they sat here. Canes fans and Panthers fans, if you're listening to this, you're going, why is this guy talking about the Leafs? Because it's hilarious. And you should be like, haha, at least we're not those guys. Last year, they told us that everything was on the table. And let's be honest, everything was not on the table. They were never going to trade one of the core 4. They were never going to do anything that was really that big. They got Chris Tanev. They got Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Great pickups in the summer. They got Anthony Stolarz. Goaltender signing of the year last year. If there was an award for that, Leafs would have won it. But they're going to make decisions way, way faster than what Carolina and Florida can finish this series up in. And what I mean by that is they'll have made the changes to management by the time this series is like halfway through. They got to know by this weekend. And there's a reason why Treliving and there's a reason why Shanahan didn't speak. It's because we don't know if they're going to be back. And I don't know that that's entirely fair to Treliving. But if Shanahan's gone, Treliving was his guy. So if they have a new president that's coming in, remember Shanning's contract's up at the end of June. Maybe the new guy doesn't want Treliving as GM. Now, the thing that bothers me a little bit about that is that I think Treliving's done actually a really good job. This is the best Leafs defense, the best Leafs goaltending I've seen in years. So it would be extreme. And, you know, Steve made a good point on Twitter today. He was like, I just got here. That cycle would just continue, and that would be the most annoying cycle of all time. Total malarkey. Since most people from my former home state of Wisconsin are in Canada anyway, I trust we can have your support for the Green Bay Packers this season. Total malarkey. I'm sorry to say that my mother is from Pittsburgh. I'm not sorry to say it. My mother is from Pittsburgh. She was born in Edmonton. 2 weeks later, her family moved to Pittsburgh. She spent the next 20 years of her life there. So, you know, my mom's an American for all intents and purposes, and we are Steelers fans. And you can't, once you're a Steeler fan, you can't not be a Steeler fan. So, yeah, that's what it is. Hayden, what do we got for a clip, my friend? Matthews and Berube. Oh, in the post game or what? Oh, okay. So here's a little bit on Matthews and Berube. I'm going to come back and I'm going to meet you for the second period. Let's have a good one.
And then I just thought we had
totally agree.
Too many passengers throughout the rest of the game and just weren't on the same page. And you know, they get a couple goals and momentum like that, and then you're chasing the game, and it's hard to get it back. You know, when you're down 3 against a good team that plays sound defensively like them.
Okay, let's leave it there. So the quote is the passengers quote. The quote is there's too many passengers, and people were using this especially out of town media, they love this. And I don't disagree. Hang on. I don't blame them. I'm sure this is the most satisfying thing.
It's spank bank material.
Yes.
And they're doing it publicly.
What I love about what Matthews said there was that it was honest. There were too many passengers. And people were like, well, he had 2 shots last night. He was a passenger. And you know what? Like, you could argue the whole damn team was. Listen, Matthews is not going to escape criticism. We'll get to singular efforts.
You get passengers when 4 guys take up half the cap.
Well, exactly. And so I think...
We've been saying this for years.
So I think that when we look at that quote, what I respect about it is he said what everyone is thinking. If you're going to be upset with him for performance, I get it. But at least, finally, along with Berube, and we'll get to that, finally, somebody didn't look the camera dead in the face and said, actually, Cody Cece's numbers were great. I can't stand that with this organization, where it is, we're going to deny you what you saw with your eyes. We're going to deny you what you see on paper in terms of stats. Actually, you're dumb and we're smart. Austin said there's too many passengers. He's the captain. He is going to be, at the end of next season, barring some injury, he's going to be the leading scorer in Leafs history all time. Mm-hmm. I love that he was honest. I love that he said that. I can't stand that people are mad at him for a quote like this. If you're out of town media and you're jerking off to this, fine. But from inside, as a Leaf fan, which I am,
yeah,
I want some honesty. That's what's been making me feel so crazy over the last 9 years.
What are you?
I'm a Leaf fan.
Oh, bad guy.
No, exactly.
Automatically.
So let's get...
You're the reason they lost.
In fact, Jesse, I am. And
you know, you're also worse than other fans.
Yes,
on principle.
Because, you know, nobody has a bigger fan group than only the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, let's talk about Craig Berube.
No, here, wait. I want to stick on the Matthews thing.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
So I think back to a really annoying Instagram post from Zdeno Chara, and it's only annoying because it's Zdeno Chara. It's actually
and he's so great.
He's so great, and he rides his bike looking like
he's still doing marathons.
Freaking
unbelievable.
He's annoying. So he posts this on Instagram, and it's just him pointing at the camera. And it's basically when you point a finger at someone, you're pointing 3 back at yourself. And I always put my hand like this and go, Zdeno, that's not true. But when he points like this.
That's what my mother used to say to me.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you think about that style of leadership versus what Matthews did? Because, okay, there's too many passengers. Is he talking about who's he talking about? He's obviously talking about someone.
I think what people were missing from that quote was him doing what Chris Tanev did, saying, I take responsibility for that too, my part in that. And I don't expect, after a devastating game, and those guys coming out, Tavares looked heartbroken.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I think those guys were devastated. And so for him to speak absolutely 100% perfect at a press conference, I'm giving him a pass on that. I do think he meant himself in that too. And I don't think you listen to the tone, right? If you read that quote, you're like, hey, F that guy. What the hell?
The tone is much better than
you listen to that tone, you know what he means.
Yes.
Right? It's inferred. And
I honestly think like a lot of the reaction to that is just people getting their yucks in.
Oh, 100%.
I think it was just people, he says there's a lot of passengers. Everybody wants to get their yuck in. Yeah, including yourself. It's the same thing with the Mitch Marner yelling at the bench part where in the middle of the second, where you see him yelling on the broadcast, wake the fuck up, I think it was. And everybody wants to get in their jokes about, hey, did you yell that to the mirror? Like whenever Leafs things happens, you're going to get that reaction.
Yes, agreed. And I totally understand that. But from within Maple Leafs fandom, and I'm speaking directly to you, that's what we need. We need somebody honest. And is he going to be perfectly spoken every time he steps in front of a mic? No. But I love that. Now, are you guys good on that, or can we move to Berube?
Yeah.
Because I think Berube also nails it, and I'm grateful for that, because Sheldon Keefe was not allowed to nail it. Mm-hmm. Sheldon Keefe was not allowed to step up and say what he really thinks. And I think part of that's good, because Sheldon was so emotional that if you heard what Sheldon really thought on a game-to-game basis, I think the team would implode within, a couple of weeks.
Sheldon was too angry.
Yes.
Yes.
Craig was as pissed as I've ever seen him on the bench after that third goal went in the second period. It was like, holy fuck, guys, get it together.
Yeah.
And here he is after the game. And I think it speaks to where we're going to go with the show next.
The past playoff series with this team, but you're aware of them, obviously, when you took this job. How much of that baggage with the guys that have been here a while play a part in a moment like tonight, where it looks like the moment's too big for them?
Well, I look at, I don't think the moment's too big for him. I think it's, we went into Ottawa and won Game 6 and won a series. We went into Florida and won Game 6 to make it a Game 7. So the moment's not too big. For me, it's all between the ears. It's a mindset. These guys are capable of doing it. You just got to execute it, and we didn't execute it. We didn't execute it in Game 5. We didn't execute it in Game 7. I don't have an answer for that. Why? But that's the bottom line. Thanks.
Oh, wow. That's a very, don't ask me no more bullshit, get up.
No, it was the last question.
Yeah, but he got up pretty quick.
Berube.
It made it seem funnier.
Yeah. It was Pierre LeBrun. He had the last question. They're like, last question.
That was Pierre?
Yeah, he has a great question. Yeah.
Berube nailed it. It is a mindset. And what's been amazing over the last 9 years is we've been fed that it isn't. We've been told that it isn't. And I think Chris Johnston, you guys heard of him?
No.
New show out today, I've heard.
He's so good.
Oh,
yeah, they recorded this morning.
New show out today.
Oh, I can't wait.
Chris Johnston said, I don't think that those guys in that room could sit there and believe that the other guys in that room along with themselves could get it done. I'm paraphrasing, but that's sort of what he said in the TSN sort of Sports Center hit for this morning. And I just, as a Leaf fan, again, finally, somebody says it. Finally, we're getting there.
It triggers something in me. And it's difficult to remember because it was right before COVID. But the Lightning, the 2019 Tampa Bay Lightning. I remember we did a segment, and you guys were a little iffy on this take, and you guys were correct. In 2018, the Lightning have a 3-2 lead over the Capitals in the Eastern Conference Final. The last goal they scored in that series was in Game 5. Holtby shuts them out in Game 6 and 7. Tough way to lose a series. What happens the next year? They take it out on the whole rest of the league. They win 62 out of 80 games to win the President's Trophy, set a record, swept.
Mm-hmm.
Not just swept. They were up 3-0 in Game 1 of that series. Blew it and blew the rest of the series. Kucherov takes his ball and goes home.
Cries about, or he was not cries about, was angry about like certain contracts and players not showing up, and he was talking to the Russian media.
I believe he was talking about Alex Killorn. And I remember the take being, if you're a member of the Tampa Bay Lightning, because they were talking about the potential moves they might make. I was like, if you're in that locker room, how do you look to your left? How do you look to your right? How do you look across from you and think, yes, this is the group that we get it done with? And what happens? The world stops and they don't. They win a cup in 2020. They win a cup in 2021. They won 2 cups in like 10 months. And they went to a 3rd Stanley Cup final in a row in 2022. They had those traumatic losses. Dude, Keenan Thompson got on stage and goofed on the Lightning for like an hour at the NHL Awards to their face. That's how humiliating they were. They were the punchline. How did they respond? Not like meek little lambs, that's for sure.
They responded quicker.
They won the damn cup. They went to 3 straight finals. The Leafs are not the only team that bad things happen to. They just never rise to the occasion when it matters most.
And but what I think too is that they never make anything uncomfortable for people. What Matthew said was uncomfortable. What Berube said is, if you're a manager, imagine you're Keith Pelley this morning. Keith Pelley being the head of Maple Leaf Sports Entertainment.
Oh no, I'm gonna have a job no matter what.
If my head coach If my captain is saying too many passengers and my head coach is saying it's a mindset, because the one thing Berube did say in that press conference, and I think this is 100% true, and Leaf fans might not like to hear this. These guys do care. Mm-hmm. This wasn't a lack of care. Mm-hmm. This is a lack of execution, and it's a mental block.
Yep.
And that's what it comes down to in these games. When I look at how this press conference, those two guys played out, I look at this as a bit of a page turner, or turned, excuse me. The chapter is over. They all know it. And that is going to be the thing that they're going to have to change.
You know what this reminds me of is it was either after the 2003 or 2002 loss in the playoffs. Do you remember there was a big story about all the Leafs after getting eliminated?
Not going to a team dinner?
They got into like little cliques and all went out to different places. And that was a big story, and all the locker rooms fractured and all that. This kind of reminds me of that, because that was a this iteration of the team is probably over moment. Mm-hmm. I mean, this iteration of the team is clearly over.
And we are back. Exciting first period. Let's get an exciting second period in, huh? Can we string together 2 exciting Carolina Hurricanes periods of hockey? It might be asking too much, but they are down a goal. So they're going to have to score. And I like that. That makes me exciting. Joachim Hillman says, Adam. Joachim, what's up, dude? That's bad TV. What if the Leafs simply roll it back? Ha ha! It's Brendan Shanahan's burner, everybody. Good luck explaining that to Ed Rogers. He's not happy. When Ed's not happy, All right, now, I am very much looking forward to the Canes tying this up. That's what I think is going to happen here. I think this game's going to be... What's going to happen here is the Canes are going to come in, try to tie it up in the first minute, and then I think we're going to have a super tight, nobody wants to screw this up game until the end of the game. It's just my prediction. And we're going to OT. I think we get an OT. So, that's my prediction. What's yours? How do you feel about how the rest of the game is going to go? Marner is going to whoever offers him $14 million average for 5+ years. Well, he's going to get a 7-year offer. I'm curious about whether or not his agent works with the Leafs to try to get him that 8th year, because if you think about it, that 8th year, that could bring the cap hit down for any acquiring team. That could be worth a lot. Now, if you're the Leafs, why do you help them? You got to make it juicy. You know, I think the going rate for that now is a 3rd round pick. So do you get a 3rd round pick? What if you're the Leafs and you go, you know what, this is a 100-point player. It's worth a 2nd. Otherwise, go ahead and sign him in free agency, but you won't be able to get that other year, and you'll have to sign him to more money. Play hardball if you're the Leafs, is what I'm saying. They're not traditionally great at that, but I think Brad, if he is still there, I think Brad could do it. Face off, boom. Here we go. What if Babcock is unemployable? No. Oh, there's plenty of teams in the NHL who would hire him, but they can't handle the PR hit. But no, I don't think Mike Babcock should be coaching in the NHL anymore. That's my personal opinion. I don't think any player in the NHL at this point wants to play for him either. That doesn't mean he won't get hired. Nobody wanted to play for Torts either. Hayden says he shouldn't coach any league at any level. You guys do yourself a favor. If you're truly interested, go look up what happened at the University of Saskatchewan when he was there. That's all I'll say. Lot of rumors, lot of smoke. Seems to just follow the guy around. 19:12 left in the second period. Arc PR hit looking at Anaheim. Yeah, you notice how they hired Joe Quenneville and then nothing? They barely have anybody covering that team in the local media. It's not that Anaheim's not a good market. It is, but hockey is like secondary. Well, it's not. Hayden, what's that, Hayden? They also made the hire in the midst of the playoffs, which again, smart. So nobody focuses on it. But Quenneville will be behind the net. So I think the difference is people like Coach Q generally. They don't like Mike Babcock. Players don't want to sign in. Like, if you want to never sign a free agent again, hire Mike Babcock. $18:22 left in the second period. Puck out off of Aaron Ekblad's stick. Puck will be just outside of the Panther zone. Taylor Hall just signed an extension with the Carolina Hurricanes basically right away upon coming there. And that's got to be nice because the guy has basically had to pack his suitcase 5 or 6 different times over the last 6-7 years. And I'm sure he's tired of it. There's a guy, by the way, same agent as Mitch Marner. There's a guy whose agent really fumbled the bag. Could have had an 8-year, $64 million deal, went to free agency, didn't get it, signed with the Sabres, scored very little. And it's been a bit of a spiral since. Sometimes you got to take the money, man. Sometimes not. Icing the call on this one. Canes fans do not like it. Neither does Dmitry Orlov. Francois Lebel, any team will pay more. Is there any team that will pay more for Mitch than Mikko? Yes. Unquestionably, there are. And it's just a question of what situation Mitch wants to be in. Does Mitch want to be in a situation like Chicago, Anaheim, San Jose, where they're building? Or does he want to be in a situation like Florida, which I think are actually putting together a sales pitch for him? Look at Bennett's shot. That's why they were like, oh, the media sucks. Oh, the media is so bad. Aren't they mean, Mitch? They're so mean. They're not mean where we play. I think that was part of it. I do think the Panthers would be interested, and I'm sure the interest would be mutual. I'm sure Vegas would be interested, and I think the interest would be mutual. But, there's no way to really know. All I know is look at the tax-free states first. Go with that. By the way, yeah, winning teams are not going to pay $14 million for Mitch. They're going to pay $12. A team that is not currently winning, going to have to pay $14. There's a tax for that. Or if you're in a tax-free state, there's no tax for that. Currently, faceoffs are 17-12 by the in favor of the Carolina Hurricanes. Not as lopsided as they were in Toronto. Toronto does have great faceoff winners. Florida got absolutely bombed in the faceoff dot against Toronto. Ultimately, it didn't matter. But Toronto did take 3 games. It's worth mentioning. I think Carolina's going for a goal early in this period, and they're going to hit hard physically. Marchand took it from Barkov and then doesn't do much with it. Kulikov, shot. Freddie Anderson, save. You needed that save. Marchand chasing. He's going to go off for a change. Barkov in place of Kulikov, who was pinching. Stahl dumps the puck in deep. They're going to go for a full change of that Carolina third line. 17:05 left in the first. Oh. Gadjevich kind of hit Jackson Blake a little bit in the head there by accident. Just a lot bigger. Kotkaniemi to Blake. Blake looking to make a move. Shot. Bobrovsky with the save. Gostisbehere can't hold it at the blue line. Had he found Gostisbehere there, I don't know if you guys noticed, Gostisbehere was open. Would have been a good play. I think he just didn't see him. There was a lot of Panther jerseys in the front. 16:33 left in the second period. Mikkola around a oh boy. AJ Greer with another goal. Whoa. That's not on Freddie, man. That's on Carolina cheating for offense and not getting back against the fourth line of all people. Wow. Okay. So here's my question. What's Jackson Blake doing there? Skate. Why did you stop skating? He should have had Greer. That was his man. Look, who's got Greer? Morrow, there's nothing that the Carolina D can do there. Scott Morrow is doing his best. Wow. That fourth line, man, they were really good in the Leaf series. They scored a bunch of goals. Nosek and Gadjevich and All these Greer, all these guys. And Jackson Blake does not skate it all the way back. He might have been tired. It's the playoffs. You're going to be tired, man. Francois Labelle, as much as I want the Cup in Canada, Stars versus Canes final would have so many good storylines. So would a rematch of the Panthers Oilers. In fact, I would argue that has better storylines. Better than the Miko Bowl? Oh, Dallas, Carolina would be crazy too. Oh my God, can you imagine? The Miko Bowl. I didn't even think about that, Hayden. Good call. Wow. So Hayden makes a good point. If it's a Stars Canes final for Miko to win the Cup, he will have had to go through both of his former teams, Dallas and Carolina. Can you imagine the boos in Carolina if they got to play Miko Rantanen in the finals? They're going to have to get through game one, though. It's not looking great right now. Oh, Orlov with a shot. Roslovic tries to get the puck out. Walker at the line. Walker. Shot blocked. Kind of forced it there, and it went out. Man, listen, I know people want to dump on Freddie. The second goal should not have. You need a save there. That goal, look at Jackson Blake. Look, they're going to show this. Watch Greer go. And look, what does Blake do? He kind of chases the puck carrier, and then he's just aimless. Aimless, dude. And they just showed it on the broadcast. That is a guy I was literally just singing his praises in the first period about playing within Rod Brendamore's system and being responsible defensively. That is the kind of shit that drives coaches crazy. You want your power play time, Jackson Blake? You better get back and skate 5-on-5. And, boy. Slavin dumped the puck in. It's offside. Martinook out there challenging Ekblad. Brent Burns. Long pass up. And nothing going there. Jiayu Wang, what about a repeat of the 06 finals? That's right. Carolina Hurricanes, Edmonton Oilers. That's less of a storyline. Of all the storylines, I think that's the least exciting one. Ekblad shot. Misses the net. Puck goes bouncing around. 14:42 left in the second period. Slavin. Burns. Freddie Anderson's going to cover that up. Not a great shift. Hayden says no real storylines in Dallas, Florida, other than they're both really good. I would love to see what Miko Rantanen could do to the Panthers. I'd love to see how he looks against these Panthers. But he's going to have to look good against Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl first. Hayden says battle of the tax-free states. That's right. Battle of this is a cheat code, and the NHL won't do anything about it. Retro Blue, not watching this sincerely, a Leafs fan. I get it. I totally get it. But I'm telling you something. It's worth watching. It's always worth watching what happens after your team goes out. Somebody just said, how's Dangle doing? He looks so gutted. You know what? He was gutted on the stream, but talking to him, I think he's more fired up than ever. I think we're ready for changes, and I think there's going to be a ton of content to deal with coming up here if you're a Leafs fan. Like a lot. Whodat04 says Hall versus the Oilers. Oh, that's interesting. Taylor Hall versus the Oilers. That's hilarious. Freddie Anderson tried to find Seth Jarvis there. Kind of missed him. Not kind of. Went right over his head. I respect the play, though. Here we go. 14:05 left in the second period. Shots are even at 11. Nate Schmidt at the line. Shot in. Goes wide. Freddie Anderson doesn't know where it is. AJ Greer almost gets another one. That puck took a weird bounce. This is only the second time in the playoffs, they said on the broadcast, that Freddie Anderson's allowed three goals. Wow. And it had to be tonight. If you're a Canes fan, you're like, God, it has to be tonight. Like I'm telling you, playoff Freddie, man. Playoff Freddie. Just don't know, man. MKI Sports, if Shanahan stays, will Leaf fans riot? They will boo. They will boo. Taylor Aston. I was really hoping to watch. Hoping doing the West. I was really hoping doing the West. I have had so much fun watching the Oilers with you. Well, Taylor, you're gonna have a blast watching the Oilers with Steve. That's gonna be a fun series. So I listen. We made the decision because I think it just kind of makes sense. But I appreciate the sentiment, and I'm happy to be doing this series because Canes fans have been letting me have it all playoff long about me calling them boring. But to be clear, I have never called the Canes fans boring. Never once. Do you know that the Carolina Hurricanes, when Don Cherry back in the day called them a bunch of jerks for doing the storm surge? Remember Don Cherry hated that? I always loved it. They came out with shirts that said bunch of jerks on them. And they sent them to Steve and Jesse and I because we talked about it on the show. And they're like, hey, thanks for the shout out. And they sent us the shirts. It was cool. I had that shirt for a long, long time. Denise Campbell. Patentized after Erica week off. You know what, Denise? I don't know what you're trying to say, but post in the chat. If you can write that again, that'd be great. Jai Yu Wang, for Edmonton to win, they have to play another 06 winner or the 24 winner. They lost to both in gutting Game 7 finals. Time for revenge for my Oilers. Let's go. Well, you got to get past Dallas first. The great thing about Dallas is basically one guy has scored most of their points, and that's Mikko Rantanen. They're not getting any production from like a guy like Matt Duchene, who said the other day, I would take a goal off the teeth at this point. Goss spare. Around. Puck is chopped out. Robinson on it. Kulikov and Robinson fighting for it with Kotkaniemi and Nosek. 13:38 left in the second period. This period, a little less high event, but a goal from the Florida Panthers, which is exactly not what the Carolina Hurricanes wanted. And it was sort of a bad back check by Mr. Jackson Blake, who is going to make mistakes. But if you want to sit on the bench and never play again in Rod the Bod system, go ahead and don't get back. But Jackson Blake's out there right now. Rod probably talked to him. And he probably knows. He's not stupid. You got to learn against the Panthers especially. They are a team that will make you pay. If you let up, they will make you pay. 13:03 left in the second. Lindell dumps the puck in. Freddie Anderson's going to play it. Back around. Nobody at the point. He kind of overplayed that. Slavin. And there's this Luosterainen, Marchand, Lindell line. Canes fans, get ready. This line is a pain in the ass. They are the best line on this team in these playoffs. End of story. They might be listed as the third line, but man, they don't play like it. Favorable matchups, and they just eat you alive. And then they force you to take your best defensive forwards and play it against them, which frees up the Barkov and the Bennett line. What a pain in the ass Florida are. Stankoven down deep against Ekblad. Slavin keeps the puck in. Here we go. Shot saved by Freddie Anderson. Roslovic had a great opportunity. Did I say Freddie Anderson? I meant Sergei Bobrovsky. Great save by Bobrovsky. I've said that a few times tonight. I don't know why I said Freddie Anderson. That's just how I felt. I felt it in my soul, but it wasn't. Denise Campbell, are the Canes tired after a week off? Oh, yeah, no. The Canes, I don't think, are tired. I think the Canes have shaky goaltending tonight and maybe some rust. Tyke and Llewellyn says, what could be worse, more Shanahan or more Core 4? Well, the great thing is neither is going to happen, so I don't really care. But yeah, I think more Shanahan. It depends on the marching orders he's given. If they extend Shanahan, it's because he's agreed to make huge changes. Bob is elite tonight. Agreed. Looking good. Cats fans, you got to be pumped. Bob is looking so much stronger against the Canes than he did against the Leafs, I think, at any point. I don't think the Leafs tested him all that much after the first two games, to be honest. Florida kind of shut that down once they took the Barkov line away from the Matthews line. 11:42 left in the second period. Stahl keeps that puck in. Carrier along the boards in the corner. Kulikov on him. Schmidt out there. That's Martinook. Martinook hit Oh, yeah, it doesn't even matter who Martinook hit. Martinook is back. Nate Schmidt trying to race him down. Nate Schmidt does have wheels. Orlov, puck up. Walker kind of moves that puck up. Stahl. Schmidt in the corner. He's got Jarvis pinned. Slavin pinches. Rodriguez loses the puck. Canes keep the puck in. That's something you're excited about. That's what you want to see. This line already has a goal, and it looks like Svechnikov is going to the box for a high stick. Man, just when things started to go the Canes' way, this happened in the first period during the power play. You got to watch out for your stick. That didn't feel good. Schmidt is not feeling good. What happened here? Oh, man, that's a monster high stick. Wow. Yeah, that is brutal. Watch your stick, my friend. Burps McGurps, I got you. As bad as the Stars' third pair is, very few teams in the NHL have two defensemen with the talent of Harley and Heiskanen. I agree. I think that the Oilers are going to try to feast on that third line, but they are really going to have to watch out because they have not played defensemen in these playoffs as good as Heiskanen and Harley. And I say that with Pietrangelo and Theodore, who I think were in. I don't think Theodore was fully healthy. Pietrangelo looked good, but Heiskanen and Harley are just a whole different level. They're so mobile, whereas Pietrangelo is more of a battering ram at this point. Okay, Seth Jones. Panthers win the draw, by the way. 10:45 left in the first period. Ekblad. Reinhart back to Ekblad. They switch spots. Back to Jones at the point. Shot in. Deflects wide. Tkachuk making himself valuable. This is where he's going to be the most valuable to the Panthers. He does not have the mobility, but he's got the hands. He's got the eyes. He knows how to set plays up, and he is very effective on that power play still, despite the injury that he sustained in the Four Nations that basically kept him out the remainder of the year until the first round. 1:20 left on the power play for Florida over Carolina over that Svechnikov high stick, and looks like Carolina's going to they might have a break here. 2-on-1. Aho gets the puck. Puck low to Jarvis. The great penalty kill by the Canes here so far. Florida having a hard time getting set up. But remember, they're the ones with the 2-goal lead. So they're perhaps a little less worried about it. 9:43 left in the second period. 52 seconds on the power play clock. Reinhart crosses the blue line. 3 Canes on him. They shut that down. Get the puck out. Aho signaling to the bench that he's going to change. Florida takes advantage of that. Verhaeghe, a goal scorer earlier on the power play, gets the puck into the corner. First one on it. Canes intercept his play, and that puck is dumped on the backhand. Leafs could not do this to the Panthers, and the Leafs did a pretty good job killing Panther power plays. Carolina's just got a mean penalty kill, man. Sam Bennett with a shot. Freddie Anderson sees that the whole way, and that's exactly what you need. You need a save from Freddie, and you got it. Freddie's in this game now. I'm confident in saying that. .904 left in the second. 15 shots. Great penalty kill by the Carolina Hurricanes. And if you're looking to get back in the game, this is how you build. You're down a guy. 15 seconds to go. If you can kill this penalty, Svechnikov comes out of the box after sitting for 2 minutes. You can put Aho and Jarvis out there, and you can make something happen. You notice Stahl starting, Jarvis on the bench, Martinook, Stahl, Brent Burns, and Slavin, because you want to get that first line out there if you can kill this penalty, and it looks like they will. Martinook took a swing. Oh, and that shot on the net. Freddie bobbles it. It comes back out. Oh, man, Brad Marchand had a beautiful opportunity. Svechnikov is out of the box. 8:38. Slavin gets the puck. He is forced by Verhaeghe to make a move, and that's something the Panthers would do to you all series long. Their forecheck is unrelenting. That motor never shuts off, and it looks like we got a Carolina power play here. Believe that's cross-checking Kulikov. Yeah, that's a wow. You could have called that boarding. You could have called that cross-checking. That is a penalty every day of the week. every round, all the time. Hayden said, have we laid it on the line yet? Well, we're about to see if the Carolina Hurricanes can. Daniel Allen, Adam finally watching a Canes game and he seems not bored. Daniel, I'm not bored. This is a great game. But let's not lie to ourselves. That second round series was kind of a snore. Part of that's the Capitals' fault for basically putting up zero fight. What the hell happened there? I'll tell you what happened. Canes were better. Way better. By the way, if you're here for the first time or you're just tuning in, can you drop a little like in the chat? Helps us. We got actually pretty good numbers on the likes so far. 626 from my count. I love that. Stop Sulking says more like Unkulikov. Ha ha! I like that actually. Whenever I see Sam Bennett out there, I'm reminded of that clip from TikTok when they're talking about John Gotti. What about the murders? What murder? Sam, what murder? Bennett is his name. What do you mean? He was a great guy. What murder? As much as I like to see McJesus back in the Cup final, I think we'll see Dallas, Florida. Curse of Bettman. Hey, man, I don't think that would be a bad finals at all. I don't think we're going to get a bad finals. I like all of these teams in the finals. James Stemler, are the Canes boring or was the matchup boring? Well, listen, I'll be honest with you. The Capitals' first round was not that exciting either, except for the one bench fight. Hayden missed the one game where they fought, where they didn't even have a fight. It was like a grappling match on the bench. Hayden missed that. Producer Drew was in for that one. All right, here we go. Carolina power play right after a Florida power play. Really dumb play by Kulikov, let's be honest. Shot! And that puck goes around, and I believe it is out of play. Let's be honest. If you're a Panthers fan, you don't love that Kulikov play. You don't love that. Pretzel Hunt. Canes aren't boring. It's just the calm, wind-free eye of the storm, perhaps. Takian says Canes are boring, and they're always top four. They are. Man, they're always second or third round, man. Second, third round. They haven't quite got over the hump yet, but this team gets better every year somehow. Gostisbehere. Back to Svech, to Gostisbehere, to Svechnikov. Jarvis, nice little move. You see how you're going to watch the Panthers gap up on you quickly. You do not get to hold the puck long when you are on your power play. Again, their motor never stops. Their legs never stop. Shot by Jarvis. Oh, that wasn't Jarvis. That was Gostisbehere. It was 4, not 24. Sorry. Again, sometimes it's hard, too, with black jerseys to see which number you're getting. Nice shot, though. Now, here's what I would say about the Hurricanes. They're putting too many shots into the midsection of Bobrovsky. If you want to score on Bobrovsky, you got to put it off his legs. You got to keep those shots low, get your rebounds. And obviously, when you saw they scored their first goal, it was a low shot that was redirected. Shot by Svechnikov, goes a little wide. Luosterainen and Svechnikov along the boards. Aho. Puck goes by him. Gostisbehere keeps it in. Jarvis in a bit of a fight with Ekblad there, and he's able to outmaneuver. Here we go. Aho with the puck. Aho looking. Canes. I think Gostisbehere was sneaking in there. Oh, we got a redirect. That is how you score goals against the Panthers. Kulikov hits Jarvis from behind. Listen, in the regular season, that's a call. They ain't calling that in the playoffs. Here comes Svechnikov. He's open. He's got room. Aho to Gostisbehere. Jarvis. Gostisbehere. Jarvis. At the point, they are keeping them to the perimeter. Svechnikov with a shot. Bobrovsky gets it, puck loose. And it's a slow whistle. Svechnikov grabbing more bodies. Giving people noogies. Man, I have to tell you, wow, great play by Jarvis there. I'm just tweeting this out. I said, let's go. This game isn't boring. Good times. Oh, Bobrovsky gets a little, ooh, that hurt. I did not see that. I hope he's okay. 30 seconds left on this Carolina power play. I wonder if that was enough for the Canes to get, no, Kotkaniemi's going to be out there. Kotkaniemi, who Montreal fans told me was going to be better than Matthews. Well, not for your team. Back in the day. This is in the Bergevin era when Montreal was truly in a diluted state. However, I will say this. They got to the finals and we never did. 7 minutes exactly left to go in the second period. Roslovic is going to take this face-off. Face-off. One shot. Bobrovsky, and it was off his leg. And by the way, Hall put it right on his legs. Created a great rebound. Nobody there to collect, but that is how you score on Bobrovsky. It's redirects, it's rebounds. Very unlikely you're going to get a clean shot that goes in with this guy. Redirections are king. Stankoven to Burns. To Stankoven. Oh, he can't handle the puck. Burns just kind of fired that one a little too hard, I think. 6:27. Penalties are over. We are back to 5-on-5. Brent Burns makes the puck in transition. Panthers interrupt in the neutral zone. Clancy, how tall is Stankoven? I wondered that too. I'm going to look that up. Stankoven. He is, according to the NHL, which always lies about this, 5'8". So he's more likely 5'7" or 5'6". I have to be honest with you. I think he was a sneaky good pickup. And leaving Dallas must have been really hard for him because they had such a great year. But coming to Carolina and playing the role that he's playing and being in the conference final anyway has got to be pretty cool for him. Oh, Hayden says it's his second NHL season and he's played in both conference finals. How about that, huh? That's quite the stat. Oh, there's going to be some, there's a little tussling going on. You got Bennett, you got Schmidt, you got Kulikov. You're going to have some people throwing some mitts. 6:13 left in the second period. Carolina now pulling ahead in shots. Refs talking to Tkachuk and Kulikov. I think they're a little pissed about Bobrovsky getting run. How's it feel, you dorks? Sorry, I have to get my punches in while I can. 6:13 in the second period. No, we wouldn't run a goalie. What, Moida? Here we go. Marchand across. Nobody there. Anyway, regarding Stankoven, I think he's playing a bigger role on this team than he ever would have played in Dallas for the next couple of years. And I think that's pretty cool. And by the way, Carolina got some pretty good assets back. Good on Eric Tulsky for being willing to just, take a risk. My team can't relate. Walker, up. Oh, this is a great play. 2-on-1. Oh, and they break it up. Sam Bennett is back. Would have been a great play for Carrier on an almost open net. Walker down low. Stahl. Gets the puck stripped. Orlov. Tkachuk. Tkachuk with the hit. Hits, makes the play. Orlov gets the puck back. Some bodies flying all over the ice here. Aho. Tries to get it over to Robinson. Can't get it. We got a bit of a wide open game here. Lots of back and forth. Not crazy opportunities in front of the net here, but this puck is moving. This is not a slow series. They are going at each other hard. They can smell the Stanley Cup Finals. Can you imagine going into this and going, we are just 4 wins away? Both of these teams, 4 wins. I just need 4 friggin' wins in the next 2 weeks. We can do that. We've done that all season. We can do that. Like, think about that, what that is psychologically, what that does to you. I would be jumping out of bed in the middle of the night going, I'm ready to play hockey right now. 4:29 left in the second period. Svechnikov gets the puck stripped, shot, fanned. Svechnikov on the ice. It looks like the first line for Carolina is going to be out there. Barkov line out there for Florida. Probably going to try to match these lines as much as possible. 4:07 left in the second period. Here we go. Taylor Hall around the boards. Slavin on Marchand. Taylor Hall intercepted. Playing strong defense today. Fans on the breakout pass back to Slavin. Slavin has Burns and Taylor Hall, and he gets the puck up, and I think that does... I don't know if that touches anyone, but they did wave off the icing. Roslovic hits Nate Schmidt. Panthers getting the puck back down. Marchand on the forecheck. Hall. Stankoven after Schmidt. Orlov with a shot. Roslovic behind the net. 3:09 left in the second period. So it's a quick-moving period. This is a fast-moving game. Walker with a shot. That hits a leg and goes up and out and into the crowd. Francois Lebel not scoring on this power play might bite the Canes. My 2 cents. Yeah, I agree with you. Not scoring on any power play in the playoffs can bite you. Carolina's got to get another goal here before this period ends. I think you're probably... Oh, wow. So, okay, I'm just seeing a replay of Bobrovsky getting run by Svechnikov. So that's why... So remember about 3-4 minutes ago, the Panthers were super mad and talking to the refs? And Svechnikov literally Sam Bennetted Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky's okay, but he did the exact same thing to Bobrovsky that Bennett did to Anthony Stolarz. And it looks just as on purpose. That's crazy. That's like aggressively. And I bet you head office looks at that and goes, hey, you know what? We're going to suspend him. Because the assistant general manager is his dad used to run player safety and still works at NHL head office. How do you feel about that, Canes or Panthers fans? Ali Boromon, if you were the Leafs GM and you had the chance to sign one of Ekblad or Bennett, who are you taking? As much as Leaf fans hate to hear this, I am finding a new home for Morgan Riley, and I'm signing Aaron Ekblad. I think the Leafs need a new second-line center. I think Tavares will stay, but I think he's going to be the third-line center. I think you have Scott Laughton on fourth-line center. And I think you move Tavares to the wing, whatever you want to do. And I think I would like them to get both, to be honest with you. But I think the Leafs need to move on from Morgan Riley. I think the way he played, I mean, his really bad pinch led to the Seth Jones goal that really ended the series. I mean, the game ended. I feel like I've loved Mo. He's been a great soldier, but it's time. I think it's time to go. Is that unfair of me? Perhaps. He's a really, really good person. It's not about that. CH, boring just means no nonsense or unnecessary dependence on flashy plays. Just clean, hard, suffocating hockey. It's beautiful, even if it's boring. Well, tonight has been anything but any of the things that you mentioned, and it's been anything but any of the things we've seen from the Canes in these playoffs. This has been high event, fast-paced, go-for-it hockey, and I think part of that is the way the Panthers play, and I think that's part of it is the way that the Canes can play when they have their game elevated. But they really weren't pushed by the Devils, and they sure as hell weren't pushed by the Washington Capitals. Yeah, they lost games in each series, but like one game. Let's be honest. Caps were completely outclassed by the Carolina Hurricanes. And they didn't have the excuses of injuries that the New Jersey Devils did. Here you go. Oh, saved by Bobrovsky. By the way, I like a Rod Brind'Amour matchup when he's going off against a Sheldon Keefe and then a Spencer Carberry. Both former Leafs coaches, both lean offense, and Rod knows how to shut that down. It's worked, worked for them in the regular season, but both of those guys have seen significant regular season success. Carberry too. He's, he got swept last year. Washington barely got in. They basically, with the exception of the one bad game in Montreal, handled the Montreal Canadiens, but they should have. They are that much better. Like, they really are far more stacked than the Canadiens currently are. I think Rod Brind'Amour had favorable coaching matchups and favorable play style matchups, and I think he took total advantage, and that's what you have to do. Eric Vincent, go Panthers from a Bolts fan. Keep the cup in Florida. Yo, Eric, are you sure? Not about keeping the cup in Florida, but you're a Lightning fan cheering for the Panthers? Isn't that sacrilege? Hayden says he hates everything about that message. I don't know. Are there any Lightning fans in this chat that can? Are you guys cool with that? Hayden says a treasonous fan makes my skin crawl. Ooh, treasonous. Very American revolutionary language there. Drowsy Dan, what do you think is wrong with Riley? Can't play Berube hockey, injured, washed. I don't think he's washed. I don't think he is a guy that fits in the Berube system. I also don't know who takes that contract. Francois LaBelle, Bennett, anywhere away from Florida, will see him suspended all the time. Very true. Even Elliot Friedman said it on 32 Thoughts yesterday. Bennett going to Toronto would mean he was suspended every other game. And that's so true. They treat, you guys won't want to hear this. They treat Toronto differently because there are more eyeballs on it. NHL player safety are a joke. And Sam Bennett would be suspended like 25 games every year. Frank Salazar, holy crap, Adam. I saw a video of you interviewing Barry Gibb of the Bee Gees. That's pretty cool. Did I interview Barry Gibb? Adam Wylde, Barry Gibb. Can you drop the link in the chat? Oh, yeah. At the Grammys. Yes, I did interview Barry Gibb. I forgot. There was a lot of people that night. It was a red carpet. So you do forget who you interviewed. I also got to interview Megadeth that night and Blink-182. Oh, look at me. I'm just name dropping in the chat. 2:24 left in the second period. Puck on the net. Bobrovsky completely on that. Taylor Hall fighting for it. This Roslovich Taylor Hall line is going to be key for the Carolina Hurricanes. They got to get some depth scoring. You know Hall's capable of it, even at this point in his career. Morrow, shot. And it goes off a leg. Zach, wondering if you've heard of Dream Theater, the band Dream Theater. A great live show. Saw them in February. Was glued to the back of my seat like I was in an F1 car. Just a wall of sound, no breaks. Everything I've heard, they're great. I have never seen them, so I can't speak to what their live shows are like, but everybody that I know that loves them, like, you don't just like a band like that. It's you love that band. You love that band. Someone says, don't complain about Bennett and then say you'd sign him. Well, here's the deal, man. I've been hearing all year from people, and I've said this on the show, that he would like to play here at one point in his career. I can complain about Bennett and then be happy if they sign him. What kind of... man, I sure hate it when Connor McDavid lights up my team. Sure like to have him. That's the most ridiculous hockey logic I've ever heard in my life. No offense to you, but that's insane. Oh, man... I don't want good, tough players playing for my team. No, sir. Yeah, do Panthers fans hate Marchand anymore? I don't think so. Aho to Svechnikov just bounces over his stick. That first line has looked dangerous all night. Here you go. Front Walker from the point. Jarvis tried to take away Bobrovsky's eyes, but Bobrovsky saw it all the way. I think they tried to get a tip in there. Alex Mercer thinks Dallas can beat Florida. Do we think Edmonton can beat Florida? They didn't last year. It was close. They didn't last year. Lindsay Hockey Fiend, hey, when they're your guys, they're your guys. When they're not your guys, they're not your guys. Exactly. Do I want guys who are uber competitive and amazing in the playoffs? No thanks. I'd rather just go run it back with my own guys. Oh, baby. Do you think the Oilers liked Corey Perry when he was in Anaheim? Do you think Connor McDavid wanted to absolutely smack him in the head with his hockey stick? 100%. But now that Corey Perry is in Edmonton, they're playing on the same line. 30 seconds to go. Win on the face-off draw. Brent Burns gets it from Jordan Stahl. Shot just goes a little wide. Carolina going into full shoot everything mode, which is something they've done quite successfully. You're going to see a lot of shots from the Carolina Hurricanes. Not only are we going to get into score effects territory here, down 2 goals going into the third, but Carolina always shoots the puck. They will always outshoot you. And that's the end of the period. Canadian Girl 83, my friends told me to act my age. What's my age again? True. It's a good question. Alex Mercer says Florida will beat Edmonton again, Adam. We'll see. Okay, now here's my question. As we go into the second period, I'm going to play a clip here in a few minutes, but this has been a great game. I kind of wish it was closer. Like, I no offense, Florida fans. I wish that you hadn't got the Greer goal because I wish it was like 2-1. Because that just makes it a little bit more intense, just a little more intense. But since we have it, let me ask you this. If Carolina's coming back, how quickly do they come back? Like, let's say they're going to tie this game. Is it going to be one of those where they get one at the beginning of the period or the end of the period? Like, hey, we got a goal in the first 3 minutes, and then we pull the goalie at the end of the period and we score it, we tie it up and we go to OT? Or is it they leave it all for like the last 5 minutes and they have this unbelievable comeback and it's crazy? I still feel, for no reason at all, that this game is going to overtime. Hayden says late power play goal and empty netter goal. But that's you mean by the Florida Panthers? Oh, you think Carolina scores 3 and then gets an empty netter? Oh, they're going to pull their goalie and get the second one. He said empty net goal, and I was like, well, how would they score on an empty net? You see? Not firing on all cylinders tonight. The old Adam Wylde ticker. Incredible Tong says it's going to be 7 OTs. I'm ready for that. By the way, how crazy is it? Hey, when who did Edmonton play last year in the conference finals, Hayden? Dallas. So we got a rematch of that in the West. We got a rematch of the 2023 Eastern Conference final in the East. That's nuts. Good teams remain good. I guess it's on you to get good if you're the Leafs and everybody else. Rocket Man says, genuinely just hoping we don't get swept. Let's go, Canes. Really? Do you not feel confident? You've just rolled through the first 2 rounds. I will say I think the Atlantic's better, but I don't know. I don't know if it's that much better. I'm gonna make a coffee in a second here. What are you guys drinking tonight? Are we on? Who's having a weed drink? Who's having an alcohol drink? Who's having a coffee drink? Who's having water? Just straight water. Anybody drinking lemonade? Nestea. Actually, they don't even call it Nestea anymore, do they? They call it something else, which is weird to me. Oh, we got Diet Coke. We got beer. My wife is a once-a-day Diet Coke person. Hayden's drinking a Pepsi Max. Hayden, do you come from a Pepsi family? But you like Pepsi anyway. So my family was a Pepsi family. A lot of people. My mom's a Dr. Pepper person if she ever has a pop. But I came from a Pepsi family. And so people who come from Coke families are like, and which is my wife. My wife comes from a Coca-Cola family. They all drink Diet Coke once a day. Well, not all of them. And it's kind of crazy because you kind of like, they're like, what are you, an alien? What's wrong with you? You drink I thought they just had Pepsis in the store for decoration. No, man. I came from a Pepsi family. We drank Pepsi. Oh, the new Nestea is called Fuse. Why do they call it Fuse? What happened to Nestea? There was some weird thing with the branding. They just changed the name? They spent 25 years branding Nestea and now they've changed it to Fuse? Sounds like something I got to replace every 6 months in my leg box. Jiayu Wang, so Kane's record is 0-12 in the last 3 East Finals. Dr. Pepper is GOAT, says the golden goalie. True. I love Dr. Pepper. Has anybody ever had a Mr. Pibb? It's the Dr. Pepper equivalent. Mr. Pibb. Kind of tastes like bubblegum. Dakota Boulier says, I'm drinking chocolate milk, bud. Yeah. Hey, we got some Mr. Pibb fans in the chat. Daniel Allen, is RC Cola okay? No, RC Cola is not okay. Fanta. Scuzo says, do you even have real sugar in Canada? We do. Yeah. Barks root beer, Jamal Curry. Oh, I love Barks root beer. Mug root beer is good too. Dad's root beer. I was a real root beer connoisseur when I was a preteen. That's back when you could drink anything and burn it off at hockey practice. Francois LaBelle, me, I'm a bubbly guy. You, microwave coffee. We are not the same. I am a microwave coffee guy. All right, guys. So, Hayden, what kind of clip do we have going on here? What? Okay, well, listen. It doesn't matter how you're feeling about this game. The Canes, the Panthers, what you can all do, and we can come together and we can laugh at the Leafs. And you can laugh at us talking about the Leafs and what sourpusses we are about it. Remember, it's the media and the fans' fault that the Leafs didn't do well. It couldn't possibly be the Leafs themselves. This is a discussion about the core four. And by the way, when your best players don't score, you don't win. I just want to remind you of that. Canes fans, I think you know that. I think you know that from that series against Florida 2 years ago. Florida Panthers fans, I don't know if you remember that because your star players always score in the playoffs. Have a look at, though, what happens to people when it's been 9 years and their star players do not score in the playoffs. Please take a watch. Here's a devastating stat. Are you ready for a devastating stat?
Hit me.
Hold on. Leafs outscored 12-2 at home in the final 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
In what other market, league, whatever, with fans who care, is that going to be okay? Brad Marchand, career game 7 points versus the Leafs, 5. Matthews and Marner, career combined game 7 points with the Leafs, 5. That's from Sportsnet stats.
The Leafs move heaven and earth to keep them together.
Matthews had a goal in this series. Marner had a goal in this series. Marner had 2 shots in the final 5 games. Tavares had no points outside of the 1 game he had 2 goals. 0 points. 0 points.
Do you got Willie in there?
Do you want to do Willie?
No, I got him. Don't worry, Adam. I prepared it on my phone on the train on the way in here because Matthews and Marner and Tavares, like, losing their production hurt. Losing Willie's production is what killed them.
That's devastating.
It's devastating because, like, he got them through the Ottawa series. Like, I'm looking at game 1, goal and an assist. Game 2, assist. Game 3, assist. Game 4, 2 assists. Game 5, no points, -3. No one looked good that night. And then in the deciding game, 2 goals, 1 assist, +1.
Crazy.
Legitimately unreal over the course of the series against Ottawa. Game 1 against Florida, 2 goals, 1 assist, they win. 1 goal, they win. 2 assists, but they lose game 3, a game where they had a 2-0 lead and a 3-1 lead. That is the one that got away. And that was the last point he had. No points, -1, no points, -1, no points, no points, -1. Losing William Nylander's production was the beginning, middle, and end of this series.
So let's go for the ramifications of the game for each player. We'll start with the least interesting, which is William Nylander. He'll be back next year. He signed a long-term deal. He loves it in Toronto. He was amazing efforts in the first round, some good stuff in the second round. He was horrific in game 5 and horrific again in game 7.
Completely invisible. Like he just wasn't a factor.
And also, not a factor and not, I know when William Nylander's dialed and I know when he's not. I've watched a lot of William Nylander hockey. So have you guys. So is everybody listening. We know what he looks like when he's going to take a game over, and we know what he looks like when he just doesn't have it. And I don't know if it's, I think some people have unfairly, coaches specifically, have unfairly labeled it as he doesn't give a shit. I think the point is he does give a shit, but I think sometimes he just doesn't have it.
You said it earlier. They all care.
They all
like
care.
Berube said it, and you're referencing it. Like, they all care. So that's where I think the Berube quote comes into play here is, I don't understand what they lose when they care, but their body can't then just do the thing that they've already done and shown. Whatever that mental gap they have. I don't know if the Leafs this offseason need to take every dollar they made through these playoff games that they had and just invest in sports psychologists for the entire room.
I think so.
Because it's 100% a mindset.
White noise machines. I don't know. Like, you've made enough money. Like, you could probably, like look at the schedule when it comes out in July. Set aside the important games. Don't let fans in.
Okay.
Don't let them in.
I think
No, it's your cross to bear. It's your burden, and you have the power. Just say no to the money. Just say no.
Willie in game 7 and like I don't think he had a really good game 6 either, even though like they handled things. I think
You didn't
he
have
had,
a good games 4 through 7.
Yeah, it wasn't great, but like I don't think it's because he doesn't care about performing and winning these games. I don't know where it comes from with any of the players where they all obviously care a lot, but they can't execute on what they know.
Austin Matthews, second most boring. He'll be back next year, unless he requested a trade or something like that, and the Leafs could still say no. Those two guys seem to be the guys that the Leafs are going to build around going forward. The other two guys...
On Austin Matthews, I think there's a conversation to be had at some point in this tenure as a Toronto Maple Leaf that is still premature to give him the captaincy.
I would love to know who he was talking about when he talks about passengers, because my first thought was Willie.
Interesting.
I'd love to know who he was talking about.
Well, I think most of the team. The stats bear out most of the team.
Yeah. That's going to get clipped by those really shitty aggregator sites. Like I'm saying, it's Matthews talking about Willie. I don't know who the player is, but my first thought was
I think it's most of the team, and I'm sure he means himself too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We could go back to play the clip again. I think he inferred basically everybody.
I would have liked him to win in one of these games before getting that C from Tavares.
Okay.
Or
I would have liked Tavares to win in one of these games before getting the C.
I would have liked them to not have a captain. Like they don't execute in the moments when you need players to perform at their highest level, and I've never seen an organization reward people for doing nothing.
How about this one? How about this one?
No letters.
No, not no letters. How about this one? We don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, so let's have Matthews and Marner split the assistant captaincy for 4 years.
Yeah, that's the thing.
We wouldn't want to make anyone uncomfortable now, would we?
Yeah.
This is the issue I have. This is a team. Babcock, and Steve reminded me of this on the train in. Babcock said, we want to make it a safe place to play, meaning you want players to come here and feel protected from the fans who, oh man, they like it. And we don't want big bullies like Mark Masters and Chris Johnson coming to the game and making these guys feel uncomfortable, or lest they be held accountable to the actions on the ice.
Hey, Lil Ken Campbell's there.
Ken Campbell is there. And, Steve Simmons makes his obligatory one-time appearance, to ask a snide question or two. And Steve, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. It's okay.
Oh,
listen, you've made millions, I'm sure you've made millions of dollars over your career. Steve's got an angle, and that's his angle, not you. Other Steve. I'm looking
You had
at
me
this.
up to the millions of dollars. I was like, wait, what?
I'm sure he has made millions.
Yeah.
So here's the part where it gets interesting, boys. I'll go with the third one, and this is more interesting. It's John Tavares. As I told you, John Tavares had 2 goals in this series, nothing else. Mm-hmm. They happened in the same game. There are 7 games in the series. This is a player who reportedly is asking between $7 and $7.5 million.
No.
The Leafs are not comfortable with anything more than about 5. And those are the reports that are out there. That is the scuttlebutt. And I'm looking at this and I'm wondering, are they even comfortable with 5? And it's not because John can't go out and put together another great regular season where he's almost a point a game.
Sure.
But I am looking at this and going, okay, it's not that these 4 players singularly, and the younger guys, especially, Matthews, Marner, Nylander, are not singularly unbelievable talents. But what do we always go back to? It's the mix of people.
Yes.
It's the mix. So if Marner is truly walking, and we'll get to him in a second, if he's truly walking, the mix is still largely the same if you bring 75% of it back.
Yeah, that's pretty fair.
I'm you can just move on from John Tavares.
Yeah, and he wants to be here.
If
one of the rare guys that does.
If he would, for me, he's a perfect candidate for a deferred salary sort of contract. If he would take something, I'm talking outrageously cheap. I think 5 is outrageously cheap. Like for what?
But Steve,
what he brings.
What's he bringing you? What's he gonna? What role is he on this team? Yeah. That's what you got to look at. If he's third line center, and he is, and you've got your second line center lined up, it's going to happen.
Well,
then you cannot go into next season with John Tavares as your second line center. You can't go into next season with Domi, Kampf, or Lawton as your third line center.
There's not enough change there.
Let's list the centers in the series: Barkov, Matthews, Lundell,
Bennett,
Tavares, Bennett. Okay, so where does Tavares fit in the pecking order there, and why is it fifth?
This is the point.
Even at $5 million, that's not enough change to the roster. It's
Right.
still Matthews and then Tavares, and we've seen that not work. I'd like to see some change here. Do something.
My hesitation there is I don't know about this free agency class. If he signs something cheap, I'm open to it. You can't
have him as second line center.
I think that's fair.
Is that
even?
Or it's like a committee middle six sort of thing.
But anything is better than what you have, because what you have, doesn't work.
Yes.
So even if you're not
thumping for years,
even if you're not a fan of the free agency pool, I don't think that's an excuse.
No.
Even if he's the best free agent that gets to the market on July 1st, he's the best center option out there, he shouldn't be your center because he can't play with the rest of the roster.
Yo, you want a crazy stat, by the way, as we're crying about the Leafs? I listen, I know you're probably like, listen, this is a friggin' Canes and Panthers game, but I think it's relevant because I want to bring you Canes and Panthers fans together over hating the Leafs. And don't worry, nobody can loathe themselves more than Leaf fans. The last two winner-take-all games in Toronto to move 8 wins from the championship. October 14th, 2015, Blue Jays and Rangers. That's the Batista bat flip game. Screw the Texas Rangers forever. Batista's a god. May 12th, 2019, 76ers Raptors, second round, game 7, Kawhi Leonard with the shot. And by the way, you know who was sitting right there during the shot, courtside? Mr. Jim Treliving, founder of Boston Pizza, father to Bradley. Founded 2 great things, Boston Pizza and Brad Treliving. And then there was a third, Celtics and Raptors Game 7 2020, but that was in the Disney bubble, so not in Toronto. They were the home team, but who was the home and away team? Everybody was the away team back then. Grilled Bro, how many subs for you to plug something in behind you? You mean like a light? You don't like my plants and my bricks? What is it? What do we do? What do we do wrong for you? Logan says, the quickest of thoughts on Ekholm's return. Well, I don't know. Here's what I want to ask you. Do you believe that he's going to be back for game 1? Because he's amazing. If he's back for game 1, that would be incredible. But I hope, by the way, that clap was the face-off, 1958, 1957, 1956. If Ekholm is back, I don't know if it's a different series, but it sure helps Edmonton. Heiskanen back sure helped Dallas. They're gonna have to ease him in, though. They're gonna have to do what Dallas did with Heiskanen. You gotta watch minutes the first couple of games. Francois LaBelle poll: when will Mrs. Dangle make Steve shave? I think I know she hates the beard, but he got it cleaned up at the barber. I think he likes the beard. Maybe he's a beard guy. Maybe he's a beard guy now. I don't know. Jesse's got a beard. Hayden's got a beard. I am not good with the facial hair. I hate it. Justin's got a good beard. I hate facial hair. Can't stand it. Makes me itchy and annoyed. Generally just upset. John says, this just in, Brad Treliving moved up to team president. New general manager, Jesse Blake. I wonder if he's going to bring the pizza box in. 18:54 left in the third period. Canes are going to go into total shoot mode if the Panthers allow them to. And this is what the Canes do. See, they just did it there. Low quality shots, low percentage shots, but you know what it leads to? Rebounds. And it served the Canes well. They basically outshoot every opponent and play strong defense on the other end. Point. Walker shoots the puck in. Roslovic across. Oh, I almost said Roslovic Akrosovich. I didn't do that, though. I didn't want you to turn off the stream. 18:20 left in the third period. There's the first kind of opportunity. Canes fans, they're applauding that. They're getting into it. Come on. Let's go, boys. Svechnikov is going to beat all three Panthers in. Puck goes over, and that puck is sort of fanned, but that doesn't matter. Slavin is able to keep that in. Down low to Jarvis. Svechnikov fighting it out with Jones in front of the net. Slavin shot. We're going to get a rebound. Nobody's got it. Aho's got it. Canes fans want a penalty. There will be no penalty on that play. Jarvis fighting with Mikkola. Mikkola falls for no reason. Really? Here you go, Jarvis. Aho, Jarvis. Oh, Jarvis and Aho both took swings at it. And Bobrovsky is giving his boys a nice tap on the booty for stopping them both from breaking through. And he's right. Hawks 23, the big boss, Jack Roslovic. Absolutely. Vic, chanting ref you suck to get more calls is like saying chef you suck for free dessert. Nah, you know what? I agree with you, but I think that the refs are probably used to not being the most popular people in any building they go into. They get booed all the time. I can't imagine I think it's more like when the coaches scream at them all the time. They're like, oh, God, we got Sheldon Keefe tonight. Oh, God. All right. Oh, we got Paul Maurice in a bad mood. Oh, God. That's when you start to be like, okay, that's enough. I don't think there's anybody to me who yells at the ref more than Sheldon Keefe. I don't know if there's any coaches out there that you'd say Torts does, but I do think the refs have like a grudging respect for him, and I don't know that he's going to be in the league for very long the next time he's in, but I don't know what Torts' future is. Don't you think that's interesting? Hayden, what's the update? Kelly Sutherland has left the game. Garrett Rank is now in. Any reason why? Probably like a pulled muscle or something? Just says he's left the game. A lot of ref substitutions in these playoffs, much more than I can remember. Obviously, I believe it was which game? Was it game 6 Dallas Jets where one of the refs got it really bad on the forehead and was bleeding all over the ice? That was crazy. Oh, Florida with a great opportunity there. Looked a lot more dangerous than it ended up being. Nice little redirect there by Reinhardt. It just kind of goes wide. And that's kind of the kind of stuff that Freddie is going to struggle with. Any goalie, really. $16-16 left in the third period. Canes need a goal here. They need a goal in the first 10 minutes, and then they need to shut the door all the rest of the way and then go 6-on-5. Taylor Hall in on 3. Carolina Hurricanes tries to break through, almost does. Mikkola is able to knock the puck off his stick. Hall out there playing his... Hall's playing his balls off. He's playing a good game. Mikkola. Here comes this pain in the ass line. Get ready, Canes fans. I've been warning you. Luosterainen, Marchand, Lindell. Not fun. Not fun. That's a line that if the Oilers played them again in the finals, I'd be like, okay, Corey, go out there and be violent. Vehicle says, like, Kelly Sutherland is not... Oh, it hit him off the hand? Oh, and he got creamed from behind by Lindell, too. Yeah, Kelly Sutherland just gotten beaten up. You know what? The thing is, these refs do take a lot more hits than you'd think. And they get injured, too. SLS, Adam, what's the realistic roster changes for the Leafs to do next season? SLS, no disrespect. I don't have time to get to it right now, but I'll give you one. I think the Leafs are There's already hints that the Leafs would take a run at Marchand if he was available. The one I'm curious about, and I'll just give you this one, Brock Nelson. Delay of game. Oh. Ooh, that sucks. That sucks for the Canes. That's not what you want. Morrow in the box, another young man. It's his first playoff game tonight. A heck of a game to be playing in. Jalen Chatfield, they definitely want him back, but Scott Morrow, you got to try. That's not what you want. When you put a young guy under pressure like that, though, that's what happens. 150 left in the power play. Canes have done a great job killing the power plays so far in this game. But so have the Florida Panthers. They've been very aggressive, too, on the penalty kill. The Canes did allow a goal. I should mention that. But they looked good otherwise. It was a crazy shot by Verhaeghe. If you haven't seen it, you got to go back. It was like, that is a goal scorer's goal. Like laser beam, backhand shot, top cheese. You can't stop shots like that. Hey, man. 1,145 people in here. Already 769 likes. Guys, thank you. You guys have been the best. That's a responsive, great group. I appreciate you. And by the way, every time you like this stream, whenever you're in watching one of them, it really helps us out because it exposes it to more people that might not know it exists. James, I'm going to get to your super chat in just a second here, buddy. Thoughts on Sweeney staying in Boston? Not totally surprised. You know what? I think Boston tanked the right way. They took advantage of the fact that the Atlantic Division is a lot more competitive than any other division. If you look at even where the Buffalo Sabres finished, they had higher points than most third last place teams in other divisions. I think the Atlantic Division is a lot closer than people give a credit, and they score. Wow. 13:52. Nate Schmidt, I think Sam Bennett threw it on the net, and I don't know if it was redirected or not, but this is a shot that I'm not sure Freddie Anderson sees. Wow. Remember, Carolina did not win a game against Florida the last time they played 2 years ago. So here you go. So Bennett just shoots this and has a seeing eye shot. Freddie Anderson let that side of the net go. I don't think Freddie saw this. Marchand is right in front of his face. And by the way, Brad Marchand has a lot of experience getting in Freddie Anderson's face from both of their times in those Leafs-Bruins series. Yikes, baby. Yikes. Oh, that poor kid. They're just showing this Carolina Hurricanes kid, and he's sad. I do feel bad for him. Florida's been ruthlessly efficient with their goal scoring. 16 shots, 4 goals. That means every 4 shots, they're scoring. That ain't good enough. And they're not getting a lot of opportunities on Bob. A lot of bumbles. SLS, good question. Do the Canes win at least 2 games in this series? I think so. I think they can. Here's the question. The Leafs have the yips in the playoffs, right? Oh, there's a little bit of bumping after the whistle. The Leafs have the yips in the playoffs, especially against teams like the Bruins and the Panthers. Here's my question. Do the Carolina Hurricanes, is their kryptonite the Florida Panthers? It might not even be a skill matchup. It might just be a mental thing. It happens, man. It's sports. Hayden says that would mean that Panthers are 5 different teams' kryptonite. Well, listen, and we'll see if the Panthers, if they make it through, we'll see if they can be the Oilers' kryptonite. The Oilers look just unstoppable, but so does Dallas. That's going to be nuts. Eric Clute, 4 on 16 shots is diabolical. Net front presence, Freddie's positioning is off compared to how he usually plays. I'm telling you, this is playoff Freddie Anderson. The good thing, though, with Freddie is that he'll have a rebound game. Whether or not the Canes are able to score is a different matter. And by the way, we should mention, you don't win hockey games in the playoffs by scoring a goal. There's only been one team that scored 1 goal and won a game these playoffs, and that's the Edmonton Oilers, and it happened in a closeout game versus Vegas. If you can blame Freddie all you want for this game, and there are reasons to, But I have to be honest with you. Freddie Anderson is only part of the issue here tonight. Carolina has to score. And they have to do a better job of creating chaos in front of Bob. And frankly, in that second period, they didn't really do a great job. Jared, day 3 of quitting THC. Good luck. What's THC? Am I THC? Is that weed? Oh, good for you. Hey, Jared, if it's not working for you anymore, good for you. I hope it works for you. Hope it makes your life better, my friend. Okay, I'll get to it. Give me a sec. Francois. They will, and they cans? Yeah, I think Carolina's a better team than they were a couple of years ago, but so were the Florida Panthers, man. Canadian Girl 83, are the Panthers every team's kryptonite? That's when you start being called a dynasty, but they're going to need to score. They're going to need another championship in the next 2 to 3 years. So, like, to be a dynasty, you have to have 3 championships, and you have to have done it within a half decade. That's a dynasty. Panthers could win this year. This could be their 3rd straight Stanley Cup appearance, but you got to win to be a dynasty. You got to win. Slavin for Burns. Burns is going to carry this puck up. He's still so big. So is Slavin. Slavin, shot. Off Bobrovsky. Nobody there for the rebound, but that's what you want. You want rebounds, but you need people to be in position to gather those rebounds. It is awfully quiet in Raleigh tonight, and I can understand why. It's so frustrating playing the damn Florida Panthers. Believe me, nobody knows it better than I. Well, I and Leafs Nation. 12:26 left in the 3rd period. Shots are 24-16, Carolina, but that doesn't really tell the whole story. Carolina needs to get more danger. Oh, that was a bad pass, and Aho knows it, and that's an icing. Oh, I think Svechnikov tried to find him with a spinorama backhand. Don't do those in the playoffs, okay? From the team that's lost so many games to spinorama backhands. Montreal, overtime, 2021. Oh my God, I want to die. Don't do spinorama backhands in the playoffs, please. Stop. It looks desperate. Don't do it. Daniel Allen, worst part is Freddie hasn't even been bad. The shots have either been screened or right in the corner. I agree. I think there's one goal he could have had back. And that was goal number 2. I think Bennett just had a great shot. Carter Verhaeghe had a great shot. I don't know how you stop the Ekblad goal. Oh, was that at the Ekblad? Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't think Freddie's been that bad. I don't think he's been that good either. He's not stealing games for you right now. But maybe game 2. Oh, we're going to have a fight. Marchand and Gostisbehere. Marchand never fights. Gostisbehere's got to drop his gloves here, though. And Marchand ends up on top of him. What happened there? There was obviously some sort of run-in at center ice here. Marchand does not fight, so this is interesting. Hayden says Gostisbehere might get fined for taking a swing with glove on. I agree. You probably would get fined for that. You got to take your glove off. People don't realize the reason you take your gloves off in a fight is because you can punch way harder with a glove on. What is Marchand is pissed. What's going on here? What happened? Show me the replay. So, okay. So Gostisbehere wires the puck off of Brad Marchand. You know what? Hey, Shane Gostisbehere, thanks for doing that. I've needed that forever. I don't even know if that was on purpose, but straight up, for the entire rest of the NHL, anybody that's ever had to play against Brad Marchand, thank you. Thank you so much. I think he needed that. Brad should get an instigator on this too. And there was a little bit of back and forth, and I think it's just Gostisbehere wiring it off him. But Marchand goes at Gostisbehere with his stick up. This is the thing. Like, I know Gostisbehere's got his gloves on, but if you look at how that fight initiates, Marchand's going at him like, I'm going to axe your head off. I'm going to take your head right off. Hey, you know what? As a Leaf fan, cheers, Shane. Cheers. How many? Yeah, he's going. He's getting an instigator. He's gone. Bye-bye, Bradley. You are gone, sir. He's going to see him in the next game, though. That's not... Listen, I love a little bad blood. Don't you love a little bad blood? That's right. Cheers to him. 10-minute misconduct for being a crybaby. Shane Gostisbehere. See, this is what I wanted the Leafs to do all effing series. Is fuck around with these guys a little bit, man. Drives me crazy. They just let him do all that crap and did nothing back. Shane Gostisbehere, I don't even know if he meant to do that, but that's what you want to do. You want to get at least Canes fans can go. If this is how this game ends, at least Canes fans get to go, hey, that's cool. Now, what's hilarious is the Canes are going to be shorthanded for this. So, Panthers lose Marchand. Canes are already sort of out of this game unless there's a miracle comeback on the way. Oh, sorry. Panthers are going to be on the penalty. Sorry. What? Sorry, again, not sleeping all that great in these playoffs. It's a good thing because the playoffs are exciting. Oh, no, that's a terrible giveaway. This is the Canes' chance to get back in this game. You need Svetch. You need Jarvis. You need these guys to get you back in the game. Oh, there's two Carolina players all over Barkov, and they're throwing his stick away. Wow. Yo, straight up, that was such a thing of beauty. I'm not gonna lie, I love that. Watch Medicine. Panthers are the class of the East. Oilers, we see you. Well, all right, here we go. Power play unit 2 out for the Canes. Taylor Hall gains the zone. And there's that Florida penalty kill. It's great. It's so good, man. You can't ever, they don't get enough credit for that. They are so aggressive. Watch the Canes try to make a zone entry here. Florida are all over them. There's Taylor Hall. Back out. Shot. Puck goes wide. Nice play there. Stankoven keeps that puck in. Gargantuan effort. 29 seconds to go. Oh, and Brent Burns is just outside of the blue line. Silent Rob, 1192. Shower and edible hit thoughts. Pratt, Nemec, and maybe Quinn Hughes for Martyr Signs in New Jersey. Interesting or dumb? I don't know. I think New York is a relatively mediocre tax state. It's still high. Again, I'm looking. I say with Marner, look at the high tax states. And look at the low tax states. Rodriguez, spin move, and listen, Carolina did not get a single shot on that PK. Florida's pissed. They played dialed. And here we go. We might have an opportunity here. Here comes Stahl. But again, all 4 Florida players in position, and they just turn the puck around, fire it back down. Verhaeghe beats out the defenseman of the puck. Slavin retrieves. Martinook. Slavin. Shot. Bobrovsky saves. I think that was going wide anyway. But, make the save. Slavin hits. Or Slavin. Stahl. Other S name. 8:56 left in the third period. Watch Medicine. Can we have less anti-Panthers bias in the call? Yes, of course. Listen, I'm a Leaf fan. I got to get my shots in. You got to understand. And by the way, Panthers fans, you just got Marchand like 6 weeks ago, all right? You would have loved that too. If this was the Bruins and you were watching at home and you saw Gostisbehere do that to Brad Marchand on the Bruins, you would have friggin' loved it. You'd have been like, ha! Come on now. Here we go. 8:18 on the third. Oh, there's some pushing shoving at the bench. Oh, I like a little bad blood. I'm so excited for this series. Let's get a little bad blood. Let's go. 8:03 left in the third period. .755 left in the third. Orlov. Puck goes over his stick. Reinhardt's got it. Reinhardt gets it deep. This is where the Panthers are so effective. Just running clocks. Watch. Tkachuk's there, Barkov's there. Running clocks, messing around in your zone, forechecking forever. Watch. Again, forecheck. You finally get the puck out. What do? Ekblad dumps it back in. They're so good at this. Walker across the line. Stahl shot towards the net. Taylor Hall with a hit. Stahl digging in the corner. All three Carolina Hurricanes forwards in that corner. And yet, here comes Luosterainen getting that puck back down. This is what the Panthers are so frustrating. It's what makes them so good. They know how to burn a clock, man. Taylor Choma, Adam, I just got in. What did I miss? Well, I'll be honest with you. The Panthers have been ruthless in their efficiency in scoring goals tonight. At one point, they had a goal every 4 shots. Now it's every 4.25 shots. And Carolina has not created enough in front of Bobrovsky. Not enough to get more goals. You're not going to score goals doing what they're doing right now. But I will say, you missed the Gostisbehere moment where he quite literally, intentionally, it seems, fired a puck off of Brad Marchand, and Brad Marchand got an instigator because he went after him to fight. And by the way, we all have to kind of laugh at that. Even Panthers fans, you kind of have to laugh. I don't think it... do you think it was on purpose, guys? Orlov. Slavin with the shot, and it goes wide. See? And look. And now we got a 2-on-1. Reinhardt. Slavin breaks it up because he's incredible. But I say to you, look at Reinhardt. Look what he's doing. All over them. All over them. All night. They'll do this to you all series. You will hate playing these guys. Carolina's got to play their game here. And they're not. Rodriguez falls, gets the puck deep. There goes Sasha Barkov. Wins the battle, but then loses his stick. Carolina able to dump, but guess what? Florida's going to get this. They're going to send it right back down the ice. Look at Ekblad. Perfect play. Tkachuk across the ice, doesn't go to anybody. Doesn't really matter. Bennett still retains possession. Here comes Taylor Hall. Tried to strip the puck. Florida gets it back, and what are they going to do? Dump the puck down. Bennett with the shot on Freddie. Freddie has to... Ooh, that was close. Got to be a little careful on that rebound control there, Freddie. Florida transitions, man. Okay, there's the fight, by the way, if you missed that, Taylor Choma. And Marchand's so mad. He's so mad. Listen, Panthers fans, you shouldn't be mad at me for laughing at that. You're winning 4-1. You're in the conference finals. What are we mad at? What are you really mad at? Life's good. And Brad Marchand gets to sit a period off. He gets to rest and play again next on Thursday night. The Panthers have 16 goals in their last 3 road playoff games. 6-1 victory in Toronto Game 5, 6-1 victory in Toronto Game 7, 4-1 currently. Can they make it 6? Sedin Magic 15, I don't think he did it on purpose, but it's funny that Marchand knows he's such a pain in the ass that some people might shoot a puck at him on purpose. Yeah, that's true. Either way, I can't wait to hear Brad Marchand's talk after the period, man. Or after this game. They're going to, the media is going to ask for him. The Florida Panthers are going to wheel him out, and he is going to have something awesome to say, and we're all going to be talking about it tomorrow. I can't wait. Let's go. Playoffs, baby. Nothing like it. Nothing like it. Oh. By the way, welcome to everybody who might be new to the chat. Loving you guys. By the way, I did see somebody asking about my watch. So my watch, the time is not currently properly set on it, the time or the date. But this is one of my favorite watches. If you're a watch person, I would love to listen. One day I'd love to be rich enough to buy an expensive watch. But for now, I like to settle on just cool watches. And this is a Casio sort of digital display gold watch that I bought for myself last summer. It was my present to myself after the season ended. And I have worn it a ton this year. I love this watch. Goes with just about everything. It's cool as hell. And it's, they're they're about $100. And it's very like 1980s cool, I just love it. I absolutely love this thing. I love watches, by the way. Justin Fisher and I, big into watches. Grilled Bro, is podcast schedule back to normal now? Yes, it is. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We will have a podcast tomorrow. It's going to be all about this game and also Leafs locker cleanout. So there's going to be lots to talk about. Oh, man. Dude, Shane. Oh, goal. See? There's that friggin' third line, Luostarinen. Nosik's up there playing in front of instead of Brad Marchand. And look at that. Gostisbehere is on the ice. That's now 17 goals in their last 3 road playoff games for the Panthers. Freddie Anderson's having a Freddie Anderson-ass night. That's Freddie. I listen, he didn't see it, and there's no coverage. But, like, if you have the angle there, you probably get a save. It's hard to blame him for it, but, dude. And Luostarinen is a problem. I wondered if Carolina would be able to handle them. I don't think they've done a very good job handling that line so far. The only thing that they've done that's good is get Brad Marchand kicked out of the game. This is nuts, man. This is nuts. I cannot look at all the Canes fans leaving. Trying to jump the traffic. Dude. Wow. I'm telling you, man. They got to win. They're saying on the broadcast how bad the Canes need to win the next game. They're right. You can't go into Sunrise down 2-0. You can't. Like, you're done. You're toast. Robinson at the point. Hopefully Chatfield can be back for the Canes next game too. I don't know what his status is, but would he be valuable. Man, a lot of red empty seats right now. If you're the Carolina Hurricanes, what you need to do right now, you already got a little bit of it with Brad. You got him kicked out of the game. You got him pissed. You're going to have to stand up for yourselves. You're going to have to establish that they're not going to come into your building and do that. You got to be a little dirty. You got to be a little greasy the rest of this game. Vic says, maybe it's not the core four's fault. Listen, the same questions exist in Carolina. People are already asking, why are they always second round and out and third round and out team? It is a problem that the Leafs core four cannot score against teams like Florida. It is a problem. Why? Because you're trying to win the cup. You're not trying to make the playoffs, and you're not trying to make the second round. You're trying to win the cup. So you have to solve the best teams in the league. And the Leafs have not done that. It's still a problem. Like this whole idea that, well, Florida was good. Look, Carolina can't even play them. What kind of message does that send? Well, we should feel good about ourselves. We also lost to them. No, we have a higher standard than that now. We're not accepting that. Denise Campbell, sorry, Canes fans. We know what it feels like. James Simulus dropping a hippo super chat. I like that. I've never seen that before, James. Michael says Cats in 2.5. Dude, I'm telling you, if the Carolina... Oh, Gadovich is going to the box. If Carolina doesn't win on Thursday night, this is going to be a problem. Oh, Morrow, welcome to the NHL, man. Gadovich is like all over him. Vic dropped an animated super chat. Rage quit. Yeah, I don't blame you, buddy. Katie Faye, Steve on stream said Domi scored Game 7 goal because he has no fear. I swear the whole Florida team plays like that every game. It makes them so scary. And Steve was absolutely right. Max Domi had a great playoff. He had games where he was not great. But that's the game with my thing with Max Domi is the Leafs always deploy him incorrectly. He should be playing with Matthews. I've said it. He was amazing with Matthews in his first season when he played with Bertuzzi and Matthews on that line. I don't know why they split it up. They had to staple Marner to Matthews. But when you put Domi with guys who can score, he will set you up. And what I like about what he brings to Matthews' right side is that he is absolutely fearless. He's flawed, but he's fearless. He will literally kill for the team. And that kind of stuff, he raises his game based on where he's playing. You see it in the playoffs. I still really like that player. I still think there's a place for him on that roster. And I think that they could perhaps use him better. And you're right. The Florida Panthers play fearless hockey because who could they possibly be afraid of? Maybe Connor McDavid and Leon. They pushed them to 7 games. Oh, big hit there by the Canes. We'll see how hard Florida defends on this PK. They've done a great job all game long. Jackson Blake out there with Gostisbehere, who's got to be the enemy of the moment in the Florida Panthers dressing room. Aho, Gostisbehere. Look at the way the Florida Panthers move. Oh, great move there by Jarvis or Jackson Blake, and they score, and Jackson Blake gets crushed from behind by Aaron Ekblad for putting that puck in the net, and I think there's going to be some fights. Listen, here's what I know about Aaron Ekblad. Dirty. But Aaron Ekblad sending a message to Jackson Blake. You're not going to score on us without pain. You're not going to score on us without pain. And Florida, that's how they play. That's how they do it. SLS, I know the Leafs would never say it, but wish one of them had a McKinnon moment the year the Avs won the Cup. Well, McKinnon had that moment these playoffs. His team just wasn't good enough. Guy had 7 goals in 7 games. It's pretty clear what a killer instinct looks like, and Nate's got it. And did you see Nate's comments after, look at the way Ekblad just crushes Blake from behind. That should be another penalty. If I'm Rod Brindamore, I'm calling the ref over going, what the hell? Alex, when did Luostarinen become a world beater? When you have guys on your top line that you can trust to score and to come through for you, it makes you play better. You feel more confident. And they've put together a great line with Lundell and Marchand, all attitude. Who's going to mess with us? Yeah, I dare you to mess with us. I dare you. I friggin' dare you. And that's why he plays so well. He's in his happy place playing on that line. It's a perfect role for him. Alex, thank you for your super chat. Katie Faye, I got yours. SLS, I know the Leafs would never say it. I got that one. James Simulus thinking deja vu sweep coming. I don't think so. But you need Rod's got to spend. I think Blake's hurting there. I think you got to have. I respect the Hurricanes fans who are sticking around and yelling, yeah, anyway, after that goal. I think you're going to need, how do I explain this? You're going to need to go over game footage, and it doesn't have to be long, but you're going to have to sit there and go, guys, when we scored, we did X. And you look at the 2 goals the Canes had. The Blake one, they go to the net. The Aho one, what happens? He's in front of the net, redirects the puck. Chaos in front of Bob. That's how the Leafs scored on him. And they scored a lot of goals in the first 3 games of that series. Chaos. I'm not saying this is over yet, but damn. SLS, sorry, I meant the McKinnon comment when he said, I haven't won shit in 9 years. Oh my God. There is nothing more that I want in the world than for our guys to say, I haven't done shit. I haven't won shit. Did you guys see, I was going to say this here before the Jackson Blake goal went in. Did you see McKinnon's comments at the World Championship? I know everybody ignores the World Championship, but again, I must implore you, watch it. Crosby, McKinnon, and Celebrini on the same damn line. Come on. Getting ready for the Olympics. And McKinnon flat out said the reffing was horrible. They lost to Finland in overtime yesterday, I think. And it was like a really surprise loss. And the Finnish goalie was amazing. But beyond that, McKinnon was like, the penalty, the calls were insane. Like, this was so bad. The reffing was terrible. He's so intense all the time. You need guys like that. That's why it's so criminal that Colorado had to play Dallas in the first round, because we don't get playoff Nate this year. Gage Forcemark. This loss would make the Canes 0 for 13 in Eastern Conference Finals games since 2009. Oh my God. This is what I'm saying. You think the Leafs are the only ones. You gotta come, you gotta bring it. And I don't think that's what's happening here. Empty net for the Canes, by the way. Respect Rod Brindamore for going, what the hell? Let's go. Let's try. Let's score 3 goals in 2.5 minutes. I can tell you as a Leaf fan, I have seen a bigger comeback in shorter amounts of time. Leafs, Columbus, Game 4, play-in round 2020. Did they blow the next game? Yes, because they're a bunch of sad sacks. But that was a pretty cool comeback.
Also, consequently, that night, that was my first date with my now wife. We watched the game from a bar. I should have known she was the one. Walker. This is sort of like power play practice. Bear shot. Jarvis misses the net. That's another problem. Perhaps hit the net, guys. A lot of missed shots tonight. By Carolina's terms, I know they have 29 shots on net. They're usually like a 35 shot team. You need to get more shots. Shots and chaos, baby. Shots and chaos. By the way, thank you all for being here. Love having you all here. We're going to have a fun series. This is going to be sick. 1,300 people watching. Let's get as many likes in that chat as we can. 1:33, so about 90 seconds left to go. Can they get a goal every 30 seconds? That's the question. Kotkaniemi around. Walker. Kotkaniemi. Fetch the cup. Oh, gets the puck over, but just missed. And I don't see who that was. Slavin with a shot. And that puck is blocked. Taylor Hall, God bless the Canes for continuing to try here. They're going to try. 55 seconds left to go. Finishing up my coffee. 42 seconds to go. Complete domination by the Florida Panthers. There's no other way to describe this game. And probably one of the funniest playoff moments of my entire life, that Gostisbehere thing. That was crazy. We're going to have some fun in this series, guys. This is going to be a great series. I am really looking forward. I hope it's a long one because I'm really looking forward to hanging out with you for this series. Francois LaBelle dropping 5 SDPN memberships. Everybody who gets a free membership, remember, we get an extra episode every single week with VIP, and that takes us a little outside of hockey. We talk about other sports. We talk about pop culture. I have got this week's VIP. I've already planned. I have got a surprise for you. I've got one of the greatest scandals happening ever right now, and I'm leading the show with it, and it's delicious. Delicious. It's a celebrity scandal, and it's incredible. It's going to be the best. So if you are a new SDPN member, make sure you check out VIP Friday morning. Here we go. Canes. Shot. Bob with 2 great saves. 17 seconds to go. Whistle blown. Oh, Bob with a couple great saves there. He's not quitting. So I would say to you, check out VIP. And if you love it, stick around. And also, there's SDP VIP ad-free, which means you get the Steve Dangle podcast every single time it comes out early. You get it early, which is cool. And then you get it an hour early, and then you get the 4th episode, which is sweet. We love that. Unwind Gaming. What happened to Ryan Reeves? Not good enough to be on the roster. Flat out. Taylor Aston, thank you for the grippers. It's now my phone wallpaper. Kidding. If it was, it wouldn't shock me, you freaky, freaky people. Ten seconds to go here. Florida played their damn game tonight. Florida played their damn game. Guys, Carolina has not lost a game at home in these playoffs until today. This is going to be a mean series. This is going to be a higher event series than I think we expected. Sometimes game ones are a little bit like that, where you both teams are feeling each other out. I don't see how Carolina can play Florida the same way they played Washington and the same way they played New Jersey. I just don't think they can do it. They're going to need to generate more scoring chances, which is not their game. There's a Panthers fan already saying sweep. Panthers fans feeling themselves. I don't think I can blame them, to be honest. It's going to be a great game. Great series. Thursday night, we're hanging out. Saturday night, we're hanging out. And I believe Monday night, we're hanging out as well. So remember to stick around for that. And tomorrow night, your friend Steve Dangle, the internet yelly screamy guy. I used to hate when people called him that. And now I don't hate it so much anymore, because it's better to be known for something than to be known for nothing, right? I just always felt that was like that denigrated his talent. The guy's so good. I'm biased, and he's one of my best friends ever. But I always felt like, man, there's so much more there. But you know what? If the yelly, screamy stuff gets you in the door, gets you into the podcasts, gets you into the videos, gets you into the Chris Johnston show, I'm good with that. And I'm also going to be recording an Agent Provocateur with Alan a little bit later this week, so looking forward to that too. Alex says Stahl playing 20 minutes and getting 0 shots seems bad. He looked a little slow out there because I think he's slow. So Steve's got the Dallas-Edmonton series. I got the Carolina and the Panthers series, but not the Carolina Panthers series because that's very different. That's got to be very confusing if you're from Raleigh. And I want to tell you guys, I really, really, really loved hanging out with you tonight. This has been a great stream. Hayden Matheson, who is running the stream, Robert Malloy running the SDPN account. Thank you both so much. Guys, we're into the 3rd round, and we already got a game under our belts. I will see you Thursday night. Steve, will see you tomorrow. New SDP tomorrow. Make sure you check out yesterday's SDP and specifically yesterday's Chris Johnston show with Julian McKenzie. Oh, my God. Bomb after bomb after bomb. Excellent stuff. I know it's my network along with Jesse and Steve, but I got to say, it's pretty fucking good. Love you guys, and I will see you Thursday night.